Everyone? Okay. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಕಣ. So how are you all doing? Doing good? Yeah. Happy. So listen to me, guys. When we talk about essay, I think you would have a voice birthday, not any. I hope you have completed how to write the structure of the essay in terms of intro, body and conclusion. What we will be trying to do today is quite simple. We will be trying to look into some examples and events. What I generally see amongst UPSC students is whenever they write essay, much of the content is what they have taken from their GS papers. This is nothing wrong as such, it's quite good. But the problem here is this: most of the students will be writing the same thing. So it tends to become quite monotonous. Am I making my point clear? It tends to become quite monotonous. So you have to focus on that content that will give you diverse ideas, and you can try to represent them in your essays wherever necessary. Am I making my point clear? Remember, essay is that paper where your personality is tested. Now, do you think all of us are born with 100% great personality as such, which will enable us to clear the examination tomorrow itself, or is it something that you cultivate each and every day? Something that you cultivate. So, apart from whatever you have studied in GS papers, let us try to cultivate some new content. Let us try to understand how to apply this content in various essay topics. Let us try to learn how some of the great thinkers, some of the great personalities in the past have approached various issues and problems that they were facing in their life. Am I making my point clear? All of you? Good enough. Now, I have been watching some videos where they are saying essay is nothing but a creative expression. It's true. But you have to remember this. Essay is creativity. There should be some analytical thinking and there should also be some critical thinking. You're not going to get all of these things just like that. Am I making my point clear? You have to be careful. Okay, you have to be careful and you have to cultivate this writing, this reading habit quite regularly as we move on. All of you following me? And this course especially, this class especially will help those students who will be writing mains this time around. Okay, now let's move on. Let's look at the first example. Now all of you over here, you would have studied your modern India history. Am I right or am I wrong? Now you have studied in your modern India history that the famines that happened in India, was it a British encouraged famine? In the sense, Britishers, they tended to increase the severity of it. Am I right or am I wrong? Or was it completely a natural phenomenon that made many people lose their lives? What do you think? Famine is natural, but the severity of that famine, it increased because of who? The Britishers. You guys agree with me? Now you have studied this in your classes, that's not a problem. Now listen to me. In Madras at one point in time, the severity of the famine was quite heavy. So what Britishers did was, they appointed an individual called as Richard Temple. That was his name. What was his name? Richard Temple. Now he was the relief commissioner. Imagine I am Richard Temple. all of us, we are suffering from this famine, all of you. So what I did was, I started to give you some work. Now as part of the work, I paid you some amount of money, which was nothing but 1 anna per day per person. Alright. Along with that, I started to give you 450 grams of grains. 450 grams. Is it on the higher side or is it on the lower side? Lower side. What some people suggested to this richer temple was, sir, the food that you're paying and at the same time the money that you're paying is very less. It is not enough to help the people who are suffering because of this famine. Am I making my point clear? But do you think this richer temple listened to those type of people, or do you think he did not listen? What could be the possible outcome? He did not listen. Am I making my point clear? He did not listen. He gave a reason. If I pay them more money, if I give them more food, it will be an unnecessary stress on the fiscal health of the country, fiscal health of the empire. And one more reason that he quoted was, people will become more lazy if I give them more money. Am I making my point clear? Now, these type of British administrators, were they very less in number at that point in time, or were they quite high in numbers? High in numbers, you guys agree with me? If you look at the present times as well, there are many administrators who do their work with an empathetic touch, with a concern for the common people, or are they quite arrogant about it? Arrogant about it. Am I making my point clear? He had real power in his hands. He could have helped millions of people. But he got arrogant and he was unable to use this power in the collective interest of the people at that point in time. It resulted in millions of deaths. You have studied about this. Am I right or am I wrong? All of you. Look into this. Utilitarian cost efficiency. There are people suffering from hunger. I don't want to give them more money because it will create more problems for me and my fiscal health of this country. He was looking at cost benefit analysis. This type of a mentality, is this good for an administrator in the present times, or at certain times you have to help the people even if it comes at the fiscal health of the country? What do you think? You have to help. That is what he is talking about. That is what I want you to learn from this particular example. First and foremost thing, there are certain issues in life where the well-being of the common people is a lot more important than just your cost benefit analysis. You cannot measure the dignity of an individual based on money. Am I making my point clear? Look at the other argument. Scientific rationalization of cruelty. I don't know whether you know this. The amount of food that he was paying, 450 grams per person, it was much lesser than the food which was given to some of the members in concentration camp in Germany. Am I making my point clear? It was much lesser than the food which was given to your prisoners in concentration camp in Germany at one point in time. And did he accept that cruelty, or did he give a scientific rationalization of that cruelty? Scientific rationalization. Am I making my point clear? You might be very talented, you might be very smart, but if there is no humanity in you, you will find excuses, you will find rationalization for your cruelty. That is what I want you to learn here. Am I making my point clear? Now, this guy was not the only one who showcased that type of scientific rationalization of cruelty. There were other people as well. Can you tell me some other Britishers who showcased that level of inhumaneness, that level of cruelty in their career? Dalhousie, okay. There was one more person. Sorry, sir. Okay. Jallianwala Bagh massacre, and the name of that guy was General Dyer. Am I right or am I wrong? Like that. And if you look into the present times, even now we have some officers with that type of a mentality. Am I making my point clear? All of you. So remember this. Look at the other one, administrative dogma overriding human life. So he had these thoughts. He wanted to impose his thoughts on others, even if others had a contrary opinion. Am I making my point clear? So his ego was a lot more important than the welfare of the human life. What is this guy's name? Richard Temple. All of you are following my point. In your career as a civil servant, it's not just about the money, it's about the welfare of the people as well. That compassion, that humanity, that empathy, all of these things matter. And don't try to give excuses. Don't try to rationalize cruelty. Am I making my point clear? All of you. Have you come across this guy's name when you were studying your modern India history? Yes or no? Yes? If you have come across it, very good. In case you have not come across it, I just want you to note down his name. And you can use this guy's example in essay topics such as nearly all men can face adversity. If you want to test the character of the person, give him power. Am I making my point clear? Richard Temple had power at his fingertips. But look at the way he used that power. It was for his own benefit. It was for the benefit of the empire, not for the common people. Am I making my point clear? Yes. Now you might know this. Britishers, they usually give this title. Am I right? Am I wrong? Sir Richard Temple is his name. Do you think I have to give this respect of Sir to Mr. Richard Temple? I don't think so. Am I making my point clear? Be that as it may, look at the next example. This is your Ford Pinto memo. Now you very well know this. The name Ford, it is famous for which type of product in this world? It is famous for car. At one point in time, your Ford company, they had manufactured a car of a certain model. Am I making my point clear? They had manufactured a car of a certain model, but the problem was the car model had certain technical issues. They've already sold millions of units. Now, after selling this millions of units, they come to know that this car has certain amount of technical issue. Am I making my point clear? All of you, listen to me, listen to me. Now, for me to rectify this technical issue, what I should do is, I should recall all of these cars that I have sold. I have to replace certain parts. If I do not replace these certain parts, there is every possibility that a person driving the car can meet with an accident, and in worst case scenario, he can die. Am I making my point clear? All of you. Now, you tell me, imagine I'm a Ford company, I have to recall so many thousands of units that I have sold, I have to replace the parts. Will it be a profit for me or will it be a loss for me? It will be a loss. Am I making my point clear? Now, in America, let us say because of your Ford company's design flaws, someone died. The courts, will they award that particular victim or victim's family some money, or will they not award any money at all? They will award money. What your Ford company did was this. If I recall all the car units and replace the units, it will cost me around 139 million US dollars. Am I making my point clear? 139 million US dollars. This was in 1973, which was a very large number at that point in time. Am I making my point clear? On the other hand, if a person dies who is driving the car because of some accident, if I pay him money as per the court ruling, it will cost me around 40 to 50 million. Am I making my point clear? They did all of these calculations. Am I making my point clear? So per person, in case if he or she dies, they were willing to pay 200,000 US dollars. On one side, if I recall all the cars, it will cost me around 130 to 140 US million dollars. Am I making my point clear? On the other hand, if I pay money to the dead member's family, it will cost me around max to max 40 million. They had done all of these calculations. What do you think Ford did? Did they recall the units or were they silent about their technical flaws? They were silent about the technical flaws. Is this good or is this bad? This is absolutely bad. Am I making my point clear? All of you. So this particular example, it teaches you something called as utilitarianism versus deontology. Now you might be saving, let us say, some 100 million US dollars. But at the end of the day, it's not about 100 million US dollars, it is about the duty. Am I making my point clear? I, as the Ford company, I have a duty that whatever cars I am going to sell, those cars will be safe for you. Am I making my point clear? When I found out that my car does not have that kind of safety, it is my duty to recall those cars, replace whatever units are not good, and then send it back. Am I making my point clear? There are other car companies. I think you might have heard of a car company called as Toyota. There was a similar situation in Toyota. Toyota recalled all of these cars which had a technical flaw, replaced whatever units they were supposed to, and then gave it back to the customers. They underwent a loss. Howsoever, they upheld their deontology. Am I making my point clear? That is what matters. The last example that we studied about Mr. Richard Temple, what was the essay topic with which it was associated? Tell me. Nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test the character of the person, give him power. Now here Ford company had that power to recall all of those units. Did they recall all of those units, or did they emphasize on their own selfish interest? Selfish interest. Am I making my point clear? So this scandal came to be known as Ford Pinto scandal, and the memo that they issued, let us settle whatever accidents happen in terms of out of court settlement rather than recalling the units. It is much profitable for us to pay money to that victim or his or her family after their death. Am I making my point? Like this. So most of the times what happens in my essays is people talk about Boeing 737 MAX. That's a great example, nothing wrong with it. But you need to diversify your content wherever necessary. Am I making my point clear? All of you. Now, if you look at this particular example, it also talks about corporate governance, right? Whenever I'm doing any type of business, should it benefit only me? Only I should have the profit, or there should be people's welfare as well? People's welfare. Along with profit, along with people's welfare, I have to also focus on the welfare of the planet. This is what we call in your corporate governance as triple bottom line. Am I making my point clear? Do you think Ford Pinto was focusing on profit as well as people's welfare, or was it purely profit? Purely profit. Am I making my point clear? There is one more essay topic, guys. There is one more essay topic. Need brings greed. Alright, all of us have certain needs in life. What are those certain needs? Let us say basic roti, kapda and makan. So these needs, they increase some desire in us. Need brings greed. But what happens when the greed increases? It spoils the breed. Now the moment you have some desires, the moment you realize those desires, you will be happy. But after a few days, what will happen to you? Will those desires remain the same, or will they be increasing? They will be increasing quite a lot. Am I right or am I wrong? This is what we call as hedonic treadmill. Okay, let us say all of you have bought a mobile, a new mobile, an updated mobile, Apple, Samsung, whatever it might be. For the first few days, for the first few months, you're very happy about that mobile. Am I right or am I wrong? After some time, when a new version of that mobile is released, what will you feel like? Will you feel happy about the mobile that you have, or do you want another mobile? Another mobile. Am I right or am I wrong? This is what we call as hedonic treadmill. If you do not learn how to control your greed, it can spoil the breed. The breed can be your corporate entities. And if you have studied your economics, you will be aware that in 2008-9, whatever recession happened, what was the primary reason behind that recession, guys? Greed. You guys agree with me? Greed. So whenever you're analyzing a topic in essay, don't go with this mentality of template approach. Don't go with this mentality where you have to write one example from individual, societal, organizational, national, international. Try to analyze. Ford Pinto scandal happened. Why did that Ford Pinto scandal happen? If you think like that, you can derive arguments very easily. Am I making my point clear? Why did Ford Pinto scandal happen? Because they became greedy. Am I making my point clear? And there is one more argument here. What gave Ford that kind of arrogance in terms of getting away with this technical flaws? What gave Ford that kind of arrogance? Tell me. What could be the possible reason? Someone is saying something here. Go ahead. Sorry? Already existing publicity, brand value. Yes, that's one argument. Other than that, money. The money power they had, absolutely, that's good. Information asymmetry, absolutely. When you are writing essay, what I'm expecting you to do is not just mention the Ford Pinto scandal. All right. That's not the objective of this particular class, to give you just examples. We want to give you examples and try to derive arguments from it. Most of the times, companies, do they give us information about their products in an honest manner, or is there an information asymmetry? There is information asymmetry. Am I right or am I wrong? That's the thing. Most of the energy drinks that we drink usually on a day-to-day basis, are they giving us honest truth about their product, or there are certain problems? You might be aware of this company called as Johnson & Johnson. Am I right or am I wrong? Their baby powder, it was known at one point in time to use materials which was called as carcinogenic. Am I right or am I wrong? These people knew that, but still continued with it because they believed that the customers know less. Am I right or am I wrong? So we need to do something about this information asymmetry. You have this company called as Patagonia that some of you might have heard about. These Patagonia people, they give information related to the raw materials and every other business strategies, not strategies, business materials that they use to the customers, so that customers have a proper idea about it. Am I making my point clear? Like this, that's it. Am I making my point? For me, you coming to know about the example in itself is not enough. What it is that I want is deriving arguments from it. All of you are following me? Good enough. Did you understand this? Look into this one. Some of you might have heard about this. This is called as the Milgram obedience experiment. All of you are following me? The Milgram obedience experiment. Can anyone tell me what is this experiment all about? Milgram obedience experiment. Anyone? Okay, not a problem. Let us say I go to this Nazi Germany. Let us say I time travel and I go to this Nazi Germany. All of the people in Nazi Germany, were they treated very well? Or do you think few of the people belonging to the minority section, they were treated in a very cruel manner? Cruel manner. Am I right or am I wrong? All of you, listen to me. Now World War II has happened. We have captured many members belonging to the Nazi party. One of the members was solely responsible for torturing thousands of Jews in one of the concentration camps. Am I making my point clear? In one of the concentration camps, this Nazi fellow, he tortured a great number of people. Now his judicial proceedings were going on. Trials were going on. He was made to sit on a chair. People were asking questions. Why he committed what he did. That fellow was saying, I have no ill will against Jews. Who is saying? The Nazi officer, former Nazi officer. I have no ill will against the Jews. I was just following orders. I was being obedient. Am I making my point clear? I was just being obedient. Now this kind of made some scientists wonder, to what extent can a person grow in such a manner that he is willing to punish someone else under the guise of obedience? Am I making my point clear? All of you. In that trial, very emphatically he says, very categorically he says, I have no ill will against any Jew. I was just following the orders which was given to me by the higher ups, by the higher boss. Am I making my point clear? So one of the scientists, he designed an experiment called as the Milgram obedience experiment. All of you following me? Let us say this group of people, I've chosen them. I am the scientist, I've chosen them. Now in his hand, I've given a button. All right, there is a button, I've given that to him. All of you following me? And on the other side, there is one more individual. Now I will be asking the other individual one question. 1 plus 1 is what? 2. You know that. 2 plus 2 is what? 4. Anytime he gives a wrong answer, I have told this fellow, you turn the button on, you switch it on, and you will have a mild shock. Am I making my point clear? He will have a mild shock. Am I making my point clear? And the experiment was designed in such a way that he can shock the other person to the maximum of 450 volts. Is that on the higher side or is that on the lower side? Very high side. It can be life threatening. Am I making my point clear? What this guy did not know was the person that I had chosen, right? He was not actually getting any electric shock. He was just acting like that. All of you are following me? Just acting like that. Did you understand the experiment? All of you. So I'm asking him questions. He is making some mistakes. So what this fellow should do? Give him electric shock. So he was giving him electric shock. First question wrong, a mild electric shock. Another question wrong, a little bit higher shock. Am I making my point clear? In that experiment, 65% of the people who participated in that experiment, they shocked another guy to the maximum 450 volts. Am I making my point clear? 65% of the people. They knew the other person is feeling the pain. They knew that the 450 volts can kill him. But nevertheless, 65% of the people, they shocked the other person to the maximum 450 volts. Am I making my point clear? The scientists observed that there were some people who had some sort of uneasiness in shocking another fellow. But when they looked at the scientist in a very calm way told him, this is required for the experiment, with a smile on their face. Artha agtiya tane? The scientist told him, this is required for the experiment, with a smile on his face. And this guy, he had no dilemma whatsoever. He shocked the other fellow a little bit more, a little bit more. Am I making my point clear? So what was this guy showcasing? You tell me. What was this guy showcasing? Just like that Nazi officer, what was this guy showcasing? Is he inherently bad? No. But what was this guy showcasing? He was showcasing blind obedience. Am I making my point clear? He was not questioning. Even when he questioned, he did not have the right courage, the right values to continue with his stand. He changed the stand the moment someone with authority told him that it is required for the larger good. Am I making my point clear? Most of the times we wonder in this world, when we look at some religious leaders with very controversial type of life, why is it that so many people blindly believe in them? Am I making my point clear? Somewhere down the line, you can bring whatever we have learned in your Milgram experiment here. Am I making my point clear? There is this political thinker, Hannah. Now, Hannah very famously says, this is what we call as the banality of evil. Good people, under the guise of blind obedience, under the guise of being a good follower of their leader, they can become cruel. All of you are following me? Look into this. Deference to authority, psychological harm to subjects, informed consent and individual moral agency versus institutional duty. On one side, what I am feeling about shocking another person, and on the other side, it's about what institution expects from you. What did most of the people in this Milgram experiment choose? Did they choose their individual moral agency or did they choose institutional duty? Institutional duty, be careful. Am I making my point clear? Be careful. Imagine you've become some IPS officer someone calls you up and they say you have to encounter so and so person because it is in the larger good of the nation. All right. You know that this goes against constitutional ethics, constitutional morality. It goes against your own personal ethics. You will be in a dilemma. Am I right or wrong? Will you blindly obey whatever your senior is saying, or will you be someone who will go against it? All of these things matter. Am I making my point clear? Yes. So, not only learning about this example, not only talking about the banality of evil as given by this lady called as Hannah, I want you to use it in your answers wherever necessary. Am I making my point clear? And why did 65% of the people, even though they were good, choose to shock someone else? What were the reasons behind it? Because they feel, I knew more. They felt that they have to respect the authority more. Am I making my point clear? All of you. And they did not have that kind of courage to stick with their moral stance. Am I making my point? All of you. Like this. So where can I apply this in a critical manner when it comes to Indian society? Now let's talk about many corporate companies that exist in this world. In all of these corporate companies that exist in this world, especially in India, do we have a good work culture, or is it on the bad side of things? Bad side of things. The boss might be a evil. Am I right or wrong? But there are many people who are willing to follow the boss. You guys agree with me? Because of the authority that the boss might wield. Am I right or wrong? Yes. Because they feel they have a need to respect him or her. Am I right or wrong? Like this. And they go through that painful process of seeing their dignity destroyed each and every day. Am I right or wrong? Yes. When the boss is harassing someone else, do you think all other people in that particular company speak up, or will they be silent? Most of them will be silent because they might not have the kind of courage required to speak on it. Am I right or am I wrong? I don't know where I read this, but in the morning, possibly in the newspaper or some other source, one lady in Mysuru, she committed suicide. The reason for her suicide was in the company in which she was working. She was made to work for the last 4 months without any leave. Am I making my point clear? And her boss, apparently her name is Dolly. All right. She was assaulting her in terms of verbal. Am I making my point clear? Verbal words. It was harassment mentally through and through. No one spoke up for her in that particular company. Eventually, she ended up committing suicide. Am I making my point clear? All of you. So do not blindly obey someone, especially when it is hurting you, or especially when it is hurting someone else. That is what milligram experiment teaches you. Am I making my point clear? All of you. Simple enough. Now, where can I apply this? In which essay topic? That is what is more important for me. In 2025, there is this essay topic called as best lessons are learned through bitter experiences. Am I right or am I wrong? So if we talk about World War I, World War II, are they very sweet experiences as such, or are they bitter experiences? Bitter experiences. Am I right or am I wrong? So it is our duty to learn from those bitter experiences the best lessons needed, so that we design the institution in such a way where the members in that institutions are not like yes sir, yes madam type of a person. Rather, they can defer to the authority whenever things go wrong. Am I making my point clear? Simple. Did you understand this? Now, not long ago, you saw this CJP protest happening. Now, all of the people who had opinions about this CJP protest, was it on the positive side or was it on the negative side as well? Negative side. People can have negative opinions about anything. I don't have a problem. But the negative opinions should be based on what? rationality. Am I right? Am I wrong? Yes. But there were some people who had negative opinions about CJP protest, not based on rational reasons, but irrationality. Right? I won't get into the matter more on this, but I hope you've understood this famous experiment. What do we call this as? Milgram experiment. When someone blindly obeys someone's authority in terms of torturing the other fellow, what do we call that evil as? The banality of evil. All of you following me? Good one. Look into this one, guys. Look into this one. We call this one as Operation Ranch Hand. I'm pretty aware that you know that USA went to Vietnam at one point in time. You guys agree with me? They went where? To Vietnam. Did they go for vacation over there or did they go for war? War. Now what some of the US Army fellows did in Vietnam was, they used a kind of herbicide. They used a kind of herbicide which was very bad for the environment, and they spread that herbicide for millions of square kilometers. Millions of square kilometers. What was the reasoning behind spreading this herbicide for such millions of square kilometers? Very simple. These Vietnamese who were fighting the USA, they should not have any cover of tall grass. Am I making my point clear? Another reason was they wanted to destroy each and everything that these people could eat. Am I making my point clear? They wanted to starve these Vietnamese people. They wanted to prevent Vietnamese people from having any cover against USA's weapons. So for this, they destroyed millions of square kilometers of agriculture land by spreading herbicides in it. Am I making my point clear? Do you think this is good or do you think it is bad? It is bad. I guess good number of people sitting here, you might be from batch 7, I guess. How many of you are from batch 7? Raise your hand, please. Alright. Batch 7. The last 2 members. Which batch are you from? Madam in white color. You're not from any batches. Okay. So you're a non-OGP student? Oh. OGP classes, not a problem. Are you writing means this time around? Okay. Hopefully in the future, soon enough. Listen to me. Batch 7 students, don't worry. When the essay classes start, they will be teaching you how to write a good introduction, body and conclusion. The purpose of this open session is very simple, to give you some examples that you might not have come across and how to use it in your essays. All of you following me? Listen to me, listen to me. So this Operation Ranch Hand, because of this usage of herbicide, millions of square kilometers was destroyed. In your environment, you will learn about this type of event as ecocide. E-C-O-C-I-D-I. What do we call it as? Ecocide. Am I making my point clear? Right. Now there are essay topics on forest. Forest precede civilization, deserts follow them. So when USA forces, when they spread that particular herbicide in millions of square kilometers in a region like this, did they enable more and more forest to grow or did it become like a desert? Desert. Am I making my point clear? So deserts are created by natural reasons all the time, or deserts are created because of anthropogenic reasons, human reasons. Anthropogenic, human reasons. Over here, what was the reason behind USA destroying that forest, destroying that agriculture land? Greed for power. They wanted to control people. Am I right or am I wrong? Yes. All of you. So in that particular essay topic, if you want, you can mention this example. Look at what I have written. The defoliation destroyed roughly 20% of South Vietnam's mangrove forest. Is that a small number or is that a large number? A large number, guys. And poison food sources leading to long-term severe birth defects and cancer across generation of Vietnamese citizens and returning veterans. Veterans meaning those USA soldiers who were working in Vietnam. Even they were affected by this. All of you are following me? There is no end to the greed of power that individuals or some countries have in this world. You guys agree with me? Yes. Power corrupts and absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. Let us say there is an essay topic on these lines. Maybe you can mention this example wherever it is necessary. Am I making my point clear? All of you. What do we call this operation as? Operation ranch hand. All of you are following me. What do we call this in your environmental terms? Ecocide, ECOCID. We are destroying environment for the purposes of war and any such similar things. All of you are following me? Come back, guys. Look into this. This is what we call as the Great Smog of London in 1952. Now, smog, is it something which is good for us? Agent Orange, very good. Okay. Now, when we talk about the Great Smog of London 1952, look at the image here. That smog, does it appear very natural to you or unnatural? Unnatural. Am I right or am I wrong? And you know the primary purpose behind this smog. What is the primary reason behind this smog? Pollution. Am I right or am I wrong? Because of this great smog, many people lost their lives in UK at one point in time. Eventually, they had to pass an act called as Clean Air Act, I think in the year 1954, 1955. Whatever you are seeing in our country at times, is it fog or is it smog? Smog. And because of all of these smog, what happens to our life? Will it be affected for the positive reasons or negative reasons? Negative reasons. Your UPSC has a tendency to ask questions related to environment every once in 2 to 3 years. So there might be a possibility they might ask again. Look at the argument that I have written. Civilization often regulates a technology only after experiencing the consequences of using it without restraint. So there were industries in your United Kingdom, they were polluting the ecosystem in a limitless manner. When the nature started to hit back, when the nature started to counter it, what did your UK people do? I told you in 1954-55, what did they do? They passed Clean Air Act and they tried to prevent again the resurgence of this particular event. Am I making my point clear? So what is this example trying to teach you? Should you come out with any act, with any policy or measure after smog or after natural disasters like this, or should it be before? It should be before. Am I making my point clear? All of you. And whatever technology you are using, will you be using the technology in a limitless manner or within a certain amount of boundaries? Certain amount of boundaries. That is what I want you to remember. And look at here, civilization often reacts. So civilization, is it quick to react before a problem exists, or is it late to the party? Late to the party. Am I right or am I wrong? So let us be preemptive. Let us ensure whatever technologies we have in this world, we use them in a limited manner so that it does not affect the nature. Because if nature starts to push back, what will happen to this human life? Will it be able to continue or will we suffer because of this disasters? Suffer. And this is not something that happened in London only. This is something that happens in India almost every other day. This is something that is happening in Europe even in the present times. Am I right or am I wrong? You might have read it in your newspapers. You might have watched your news medias where because of heat waves, things are melting in your Europe. Am I right or am I wrong? You might have seen those traffic signals. Those things are melting. You might have seen that the shoes are getting attached to that particular road. You guys agree with me? Civilization should do the course correction before a disaster happens. If it waits till the disaster happens, unnecessary loss of lives will happen. Now tell me, something like this, has it happened in our country? It almost happens every other week. Am I right or am I wrong? Almost every other week. During the winter months, you might have seen in Delhi, the air will be filled with what? Smog. You might have seen landslides occurring in your Western Ghats or other similar such reasons because of unsustainable tourism. Am I right or am I wrong? You might have heard that last year or in the beginning part of this year, there was an issue called as Aravali's issue. Am I right? Should I be wrong? Like this. So what usually happens amongst our aspirants, whatever they learn only in terms of examples. What I want from you is, if you're learning an example, what is the underlying arguments, please understand it. After understanding underlying arguments, learn how to apply it in other essay topics. Am I making my point clear? And more importantly, connect it to similar such patterns in UK, in the world, in our country. Then you will have so much of diverse content. It improves your thinking capabilities and also your writing capabilities. Am I making my point clear? All of you, like this. Now in 2022, I guess they've asked a question. Forests are the best case studies of economic excellence. Forests are the best case studies of economic excellence. So I have to keep the forest in a pristine manner, or should I abuse the forest for my selfish reason? What do you think? Pristine format. Imagine I maintain London with clean air, everyone has dignity, everyone is happy. The productivity of the people in that type of an ecosystem, will it be on the higher side or on the lower side? Clean air is there, clean drinking water is there, everything is nice. What will happen in that situation in London, in people's life? Will their productivity be higher or will it be lower? Higher, right? So higher productivity means higher economic excellence. You guys agree with me? Keep these things in mind. All of you are following my point? Come back. Look into this. The Christmas truce that happened in 1914. All of you are following me? 1914. Okay. So in 1914, what was that major war which was going on? World War I, very good. On one side you had Germany, on the other side you had Great Britain. All of you are following me? They were all sitting in the trenches. Okay. And sitting in the trench in the damp, muddy weather, muddy soil, it's not so easy. Many people who died in World War I, they did not die because of any bullet injury. They died because of unhygienic conditions. Am I making my point clear? Sepsis anta nivella kelidtira. Ariti. All of you following my point? Come back. So this trench warfare is going on. Christmas is on the cards. What these two people do is, these two groups, they come together, they exchange sweets, they exchange wishes, and for a moment they had forgotten that they were enemies. Am I making my point clear? On that Christmas day, they forgot that they are enemies belonging to two different ideologies, and they celebrated Christmas together. Look into this. Institutions can manufacture enemies faster than ordinary human beings can learn to hate another. So most of the times, whatever hatred we have towards others, is it because we are individually hating them, or sometimes it is institutionalized by some company, by some party like that? Institutionalized, am I right? People, they don't naturally hate each other. At times, there will be some individuals, there will be some parties, whatever it might be, they will fill your mind with so much of hatred that ordinary human beings, they will develop hatred eventually. All of you following me? If you look at Hitler as well, when he was coming to the power, all right, when he was coming to power, what was the reason of him coming to power? Because of the shame, embarrassment that Germany faced during World War I. Am I right? Now, one of the ways that he used to come to power was to inculcate in you, to sow the seeds of hatred in you against which group of people? Jews. He institutionalized that hatred in some of the people in Germany at that point in time. Ordinary people, they don't usually hate each other. All right. Institutions, they can be very effective. They can be very fast in inculcating this sense of hatred in you. Am I making my point clear? All of you. Hitler had so many awards for people, for their courage, for their bravery, for their ideology. He used to award even small boys and girls because of the ideology that they had against Jews at that point in time. Am I making my point clear? So his coming to power was solely based on infusing a sense of hatred in you against the Jews and other minorities. You guys agree with me? Come back, come back. Listen to me, listen to me. When hatred fills the world like this, what will happen to the world? Will it be a much better place for us to live? Will it be a much better place for the future generation, or will it be problematic? Problematic. There is a very beautiful essay topic in UPSC. I absolutely adore it. Compassion is the basis of all morality. All right, compassion means what? He is in some pain. I will do what I can in my power to reduce his pain. That is compassion. Now, do you think compassion in us is born just like that, or is it born in us because of love? That love must be there. Am I making my point clear? That love must be there, and that love, should it be limited only to the members of your family, or should it be to the larger humanity as such? Larger humanity. Am I making my point clear? In compassion is the basis of all human morality. You can write this event. Even in a situation like World War I, on that Christmas day, people forgot the hatred that they had for each other. That love became a priority, and they celebrated this Christmas. Very beautiful event. Am I making my point clear? What are the arguments that we are learning here? Ordinary people, they do not hate each other. Companies, parties, or any other ideological person, they can infuse in you such type of hatred that you start to hate someone else without knowing why you're hating them. Am I right or am I wrong? Yes. And where will you use this particular topic? Compassion is the basis of all human morality. Look into this one. This is about Mozambique and South Africa's efforts to conserve the nature. So whenever we talk about nature, let us say there is some ecosystem that is being shared between India and Bangladesh. Now India will take care of the ecosystem on its side, Bangladesh will take care of the ecosystem on their side. That in itself, is it enough, or should both of us sit together and conserve the whole ecosystem as single actor? What do you think? India is taking care of the ecosystem on its side. Bangladesh is taking care of the ecosystem on this side. Am I making my point clear? Imagine there is a very huge ecosystem. Some part of the ecosystem India is taking care, some part of the ecosystem Bangladesh is taking care. Will this be effective, or India and Bangladesh coming together and managing the whole ecosystem that they're sharing? Which one will be more effective? First one or the second one? Absolutely. You need cooperation. You need consultation. You need coordination when it comes to conserving the nature in the present times. If that cooperation is missing, you can't conserve the nature in its effective and efficient methodology. Am I making my point clear? South Africa and Mozambique, they are showcasing that type of cooperation in terms of maintaining the ecosystem. You tell me, countries like USA, are they showcasing that type of cooperation with other countries in the world in terms of dealing with your climate change, in terms of dealing with global warming, or is it on the lesser side? Lesser side. You know, the present president of USA, Donald Trump, he has pulled back his country from many climate change related agreements as well. Like this. Without cooperation, we can't deal with major environmental stress we are facing in present times. Remember that. You have to forget your selfishness. You have to come together in the self-interest, in the collective interest of everyone. That is what this example is teaching you. All of you are following me? Now let us say, I have to apply this in some essay topic. Best lessons are learned through bitter experiences. Let us say there is a question like this. Now ask yourself, bitter experience, is it something only at the individual level that we see, or bitter experience can be at the collective level as well? For me to deal with this bitter experience at the collective level, only me making the necessary changes is not enough. We have to make change at the larger level. You guys agree with me? I am learning a best lesson here. When cooperation comes into picture, whatever destruction you saw in the ecosystem, you can reverse the destruction. Am I making my point clear? Let us say there is another essay topic, forest precede civilization. Before any civilization starts, it will be starting in those regions where you have forest, where you have drinking water, rivers and everything. Now I go and settle in that particular place. I exploit that place for my own greedy purposes. Eventually, what will happen to that forest region? Will it still be a forest or will it become deserts? This is what they're talking about. Forest precede civilization, deserts follow them. Now let us say that ecosystem was destroyed. Can I reverse this destruction? Can I again ensure that this desert goes back to its earlier pristine methodology, pristine state? We can ensure that. But for us to ensure that, what are we supposed to do? Emphasize on cooperation. And tell me guys, this was cooperation between Mozambique and South Africa in terms of environmental conservation. When it comes to the present state, in our country, in our society, that cooperation should only be between two different governmental departments between central and state government, or even we have a role to play. Even we have a role to play. Remember that. Am I making my point clear? So when your government tells you, use public transport where necessary, go ahead and use it. When your government tells you, plant some trees, go ahead and do it. There's nothing wrong, right? This is what we are asking you to do. Just one example, and in front of you, I have taught you how to derive arguments, how to apply it to some current affairs event, and how to write it in two different essays. Am I making a point? Most of the times when I see people writing essays, what they do is they have a formula. I have to write in terms of this formula. I have to write the same content. I have to write the same content that I read in some classes or that I read in some value addition material of XYZ institution. You read all of them, you go to classes, God bless all of you. However, you have to put some extra effort to develop that content which will establish your originality, which will give the reader an idea about your personality. Am I making my point clear? Be careful here. Okay. Now, my question to you is this. Have you come across any such cooperation in recent times in your life when it comes to environmental conservation? Any recent events? Try. Go ahead. Go ahead. Try. Any events that you have come across, or even from your GS preparation? Tell me. Even in terms of your GS preparation, have you come across any event where there was cooperation? How many of you are from batch 7? Raise your hand. Again, once more. Batch 7 people in the class. Okay. Guys, don't worry. Essay classes will be done. Okay. So this will be your first exposure to essay. I'm not teaching you how to write intro, body or conclusion. I'm just giving you some interesting content. That's it. Okay. Even though you're from batch 7, the latest batch in insights, tell me guys, have you heard of something called as chip pico or pico movement? Right, sir, bulb jalab. This bulb should light all by yourself when you're sitting in the examination hall. Am I making my point clear? So that was cooperation at the ground level. Am I right or am I wrong? Many women participated in it. Like this. Can you tell me any other ecological conservation movement which was based on community participation, which was based on the foundation of cooperation? Go ahead, try. Think for a few seconds, think for a few minutes. Anyone here who is from Rajasthan? Krapa? Okay. Narmada Bachao Andolan. You might have also heard about black buck conservation. Am I making my point clear? Like this. Sometimes what happens is, we are learning from this type of mentality. When you're learning in a limited type of mentality, whatever content you already have, even though it exists in your brain, you can't recall or remember it easily. Am I right or am I wrong? So please broaden your horizons. Am I making my point clear? Srinidhi, right? So how have you showcased cooperation in terms of ecological conservation since last 1 hour? ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? Right? Yeah. Be that as it may, let it be. He understood my point. Okay. I was walking to OGP2. My friend Srinidhi here, I think he had a cup of coffee, tea, whatever it was in your styrofoam cup. All right. I think he could not find a dustbin. So what he did, he found some space where he could throw it. And for his bad luck, I was there. All right. We all have done this. This is not just Srinidhi's fault. All right. Let me not be way too judgmental on him. Small little things we can change in our life. All of you are following me. There are many NGOs. For example, there is an NGO called as Kalpataru, if I'm not wrong. Right? This Kalpataru, what it does is, in your name, they will be sowing the seeds. They will be planting trees. Am I making my point clear? So, if someone has a birthday or whatever it might be, you can give some money to this Kalpataru. Let us say someone is celebrating 35 years of their birthday, 36, whatever it might be. They will be planting 36 saplings there. It's good, right? That's the thing. And I can't remember the name of this couple. Recently, they had a child. What they did was, they planted so many trees in the celebration of the child being born. And whatever trees that have been planted there, it is going to be more than enough to support the carbon output of the child. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ತಾನೆ? Carbon output ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತು ತಾನೆ? We are inhaling what? Oxygen. We are exhaling what? Carbon dioxide. When I plant trees, plants inhale what? Exhale oxygen. They planted so many trees. Whatever the child's carbon footprint would be, that will be neutralized by all of these trees. Very beautiful concept. I absolutely love that. Okay, like this. Any other example that you can think about? Come on. Salu marada timmaka, good. Ashte. Neen nan keltilla. All right. Most of the time what happens, as our dear friend over here has spoken about, Salu marada timmaka, or you might have heard of another guy called as Forest Man of India. What is his name? Jadav Payang. People talk about them. There's nothing wrong with it. But along with these personalities, try to include events like this. This will make your essays much more rich. And whatever examples you're writing, will it be only focused on examples, or will you be deriving arguments from it? Arguments from it. Am I making my point clear? Look into this one, guys. Her name is Frances Perkins. Frances Perkins. Now look at what I have written. First woman in a US presidential cabinet serving as Franklin Roosevelt's Secretary of Labor. She was a labor minister in a USA president's cabinet. This was in 20th century. In 20th century, woman becoming a minister was unheard of. She was the first woman to do it. Now for me, this in itself is not a major thing. What is so very interesting for me is, one time what happens, Frances Perkins, she sees that a building is on fire. Am I making my point clear? The building is on fire and many people, they are trying to escape this building which has caught fire, but in the process, many people have died. She sees it. Am I making my point clear? Now fast forward to the present times, everyone, fast forward to the present times. Have we come across any events in our country where the building caught fire and many people died unfortunately? Yes? Can you give me some incidents like that? Delhi laitu tane? Yes, madam. Hospitals, yes. Then you have a B&B, bread and breakfast establishment in Delhi. Am I making my point clear? So Frances Perkins, she comes across an event like this. She is very much irritated. Do you think the building which caught fire in New York, I guess, that was the place at that point in time, they had followed all the safety protocols, or had they compromised it? Compromised it. Look at all the buildings which have caught fire in India in the last couple of years. Have they followed all the safety protocols, or have they compromised on it? Compromised on it. Frances Perkins, she worked as a politician to ensure that no building, no industrial unit compromises on safety of its people. She worked very hard. It was this work which eventually got the eye of Franklin Roosevelt at that point in time, and he chose her to be Secretary of Labor. Am I making my point clear? Look at the argument that I've written. Ethical reform begins when witnessing suffering creates an obligation. Obligation means what? Is it compulsory or is it an option? It is compulsory. An obligation to change the system, producing it. Now, all of us have suffered because of corruption, let us say. In various capacities, we have suffered because of it. Am I right or am I wrong? What is the obligation that we have? The obligation is that we sit silent and don't do anything about it, or the obligation is for us to vote. Vote. Vote in terms of those parties which have done enough to combat this corruption. Am I making my point clear? All of you, like this. Imagine I've grown up in an ecosystem where I did not have access to education, quality education, let us say that. Now I have suffered, but what is the obligation? Imagine I've grown up, I have a decent amount of money. What is the obligation I have? The obligation is for me to share that knowledge with you in as accessible, in as affordable manner as possible. You guys agree with me? Like this. You might have heard about a guy called as Shrikant Bolla. Now Shrikant Bolla, he was born blind. When the family saw this small blind child, many of the relatives told the family to kill the child because the child will not have any dignity when it grows up, especially in a country like India. But the parents, they did not want to kill this small innocent child for a mistake that it did not commit. So they gave all the love, all the courage, all the support for this child, even though they came from the poor family. Shrikant Bolla was so academically smart. He studied in some of the good schools and colleges in India, and he even manages to get a scholarship in MIT, as far as I remember, a very good college in USA. Now he has all of this education. He could have stayed back in USA and led a very happy and content life. Am I making my point clear? But he chose to come back to India. He came back to India, he started an industry, and in that industry, he started to give jobs to Divyangs. Ethical reform begins when the suffering that you have come across, the suffering that you have witnessed, creates a moral obligation or responsibility in you to prevent such suffering from happening to anyone else. That's the argument here. That's the argument. Am I making my point clear? Now, there are a good number of people who might be sitting here, who might have come from village areas or even in city areas where you might have seen suffering from your own eyes. Am I right or am I wrong? With your own eyes. There is an obligation on all of us to reduce this suffering in our own ways when the time comes. Am I making my point clear? Do you think most of the people in this country have that type of obligation? No. Let us say tomorrow you make it to UPSC interview and they ask you a very simple question. Why do you want to be an IAS or an IPS officer? All right. Batch 7 people might answer, sir, it gives me power and all of those things. Don't answer like that. There was a moral obligation on your part to reduce the suffering that you were subjected to in your life. And you feel that this profession, that this job is the much better manner to deal with it. Am I making my point clear? That's about it. Nothing more than that. Am I making my point clear? So whatever essays you're writing, it should not be filled with only examples. It should have quality arguments. Am I making my point clear? What is the name of this lady? Frances Perkins. All right. Try to remember her name. Try to remember her achievement and also the reason behind her achievement. Am I making my point clear? And you use it wherever you feel in essay it is nice. For example, let us say I make you open 2025 essay paper. Come on, open 2025 essay paper. All of you, go ahead. 2025 essay paper. Okay. Where will I use whatever I just learned in the last couple of seconds? In which essay topic? As an example. Frances Perkins. In which essay topic do you think I can use her story? I can write the arguments that we have just discussed as of now. Best lessons are learned through bitter experiences. Forget that essay topic. Other than that, please. Thought finds a word and creates one also. So the thought that I have, it should be based on a moral obligation to reduce the suffering that I see in and around him. If I work on this thought, I will be creating a world which will be a much better place to live, or will it be a very bad place to live? What do you think? A much better place to live. That is what you are supposed to write here. All of you are following me. Look into this. Ash conformity experiment. All right. Ash conformity experiment. Do you remember Milgram obedience experiment? I am giving you one more experiment as of now. Listen to me. Let us say there is a group of 5 people. Let us say there is a group of 5 people. Now for all of these 5 people, I have shown a figure. Let us say I have drawn a line. Let us say this will be the length of the line. Am I making my point clear? This will be the length of the line. Did you understand? Now I will show another figure where I have drawn 3 lines. 1, 2 and 3. So this finger, it is much similar to what? This one or the last one? Am I right? You know the answer, na? Beyond all reasonable doubt, you know that this finger and this finger are similar. Am I right or am I wrong? But what happened in our Ash conformity experiment was, I had chosen 5 people, 4 people were actors. Okay, what were 4 people? They were actors. 1 person was that subject. So I told the actors, instead of choosing this finger, choose this finger. Am I making my point clear? So the 4 people chose this finger, the subject, the 5th fellow. Do you think he went and chose this one, or do you think he chose this one? The first one. Am I right or am I wrong? This is conformity. Gumpal Govinda mentality. Artha Tiritane. All of you. Like this. When 4 out of 5 people choose something, the 5th person, even though he knows that it is wrong, even though he knows that is something that he does not require, he ends up choosing it. That is conformity. Now you tell me in your life, my dear friends, batch 7 students, listen to me now. All right? Yes. Now he is listening. Good, sir. Conformity anta andre ಏನು ಹೇಳಪ್ಪ? Light brown color t-shirt. ನೀನೆ. ನಗುಮುಖ ಗೆಳೆಯ ಹೇಳು. What's your name, sir? ನೀನಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ. Ankush. ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೋ. All right. So conformity, when 4 out of 5 people choose something, you are forced to choose the same thing. Am I right or am I wrong? Your free will, your critical thinking, everything goes out of the window there. You guys agree with me? Now my question to you is very simple. Where do you see this conformity applying in Indian society? Where do you see this conformity applying in your own life? Yes, madam. Yes, madam. Okay. Okay. Same thing. Yes. Now, you might have seen some people, they will be just looking at the sky randomly. Am I right or am I wrong? Some people will gather. After that, you will be on your bike or you will be on your car. You will also be wondering, yen noಡ್ತಾ ಇವರು? Conformity, am I right or am I wrong? And this exists even in terms of your societal expectations, right? You have to do certain things. You should not marry outside of your caste and all of these things. Conformity, right? Exercising an influence on your decisions and your opinions. Am I right or am I wrong? And tell me, when you become a victim of such conformity, in the longer run, is it something which is good for you, or in the longer run, is it something which will make you irritated about your own self? What do you think? Irritated about your own self. Am I making my point clear? Yes. Why is it that many people, even though they know whatever answer the 4 out of 5 people have given is wrong, why did they believe in it? Maybe they do not have enough courage to stand alone. Maybe they want that safety of belonging to a group, and maybe they feel that they are wrong, they will be misjudged, so they want to just go with the flow. Blame andre ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಬರಲಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. I don't want the blame all for myself. I want that collective blame. Am I making my point clear? This is what we call as conformity. Now this conformity, we have documented it in the form of a experiment. What do we call that experiment as? As conformity experiment. In your schools and colleges, you might have come across this. Some of your friends, they might be smoking. All right, your best friends. You also will be tempted to conform to such type of smoking. Am I right or am I wrong? Like this. Am I right or am I wrong? Simple, simple. Did you understand this? All of you? Yes. Can you give me any other example where you saw Ash conformity principle that you have come across in your life? Madam gave me 1 point. Other than that, CJP protest, is it? Yes, madam. Dalgova coffee, dusting challenge. Yeah, I completely agree. That's an excellent example. Madam who said CJP protest, how exactly? You can tell me. Anyone? Okay. Whatever you said does make sense. All right. But let's go for more simpler ones, easier to connect. In essay, one advice to all of you: whenever you're writing answers, let us not introduce any controversial things. All right. Let's focus on things which are quite simple, which affects us on a day-to-day general studies type of a personality. Am I making my point clear? Sorry, madam? March, yeah, you can talk about it. All right. That's also a good example. Yes, sir, you were saying something. Yeah, during Nag Panchami and all of these things. Okay. Patriarchy, conformity. ಇವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಎಸ್ಸೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಬಿಡ್ರು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬರೆಯಲ್ಲ. All of you following me? Good enough. This is good. Whatever answers you're giving is correct. Whatever madam told about CJP protest, that is also correct. All right. But look for simplest of examples that can connect with many number of people very easily, where you don't have to explain way too much. All of you following me? Ash conformity principle. Now come back. There is one more experiment, the Good Samaritan experiment. Okay, I love this Good Samaritan experiment a lot. Okay. You know what is, sorry, anyone saying something? Okay. Good Samaritan experiment. In English, you might have heard of a term called as hypocrisy. Any idea what is hypocrisy? Heladondu, madad innondu. That is hypocrisy. All of you are following my point. So what happened was, there were a group of church goers. Okay, church ge hogtirtaru avaru. The experiment was, I keep some church goers with myself for an extended period of time. Let us say the church will open at 10:30 a.m. All right. I have kept church goers until 10:40 a.m. So are they early to the church or are they late? They are late. 10:40 a.m. I am still keeping them with me. All right. After 10:40, I let them go. So how will they be going? Will they be running or will they be walking very calmly, easily? Running, right? Yes. So when they were running to the church, in front of them, I kept few homeless people. I ensured that there were few people who had some sort of an accident and they were expecting some help. All these church goers who were going to the church, and on that particular day, the story that was being told in the church was that you have to be a good Samaritan. Who is a good Samaritan? If someone is in trouble, that individual will help them. That is good Samaritan. So I have kept this church goers with me for an extended period of time. All of them are running to the church. In the church on that day, they were telling a story about being a good Samaritan. If someone is in trouble, help them. Do you think all of these 100 church goers helped the people who were facing problems, or they ran to the church only? They ran to the church. What do we call this as? Hypocrisy. Am I making my point clear? They are going to the church to learn the story of Good Samaritan, helping someone who is in need. But many people did not stop help. Am I making my point clear? Knowing morality, knowing what is good and wrong, that's one thing. Doing what is good, that's another thing altogether different. Am I right? My dear students, having the dream to become an officer is one thing. Working hard consistently in your life to become an officer, that's another thing altogether different. Am I making my point clear? Many of us are good people. I'm not going to deny that. We know what is good and right instinctively. But when it comes to doing what is good, are we always on point? Or will there be a mismatch? That is good Samaritan experiment. Am I making my point clear? Good Samaritan experiment. Knowing morality is one thing, but actually doing that morality when the situation presents itself to you, that is another thing altogether different. That is what the Good Samaritan story or experiment teaches you. Knowing morality is not the same as practicing morality. Did you understand this? If I take that very famous topic in 2025, thought finds a word. Now I have a thought that I want to create a telephone using which people from faraway distances can have conversation with each other. This is the thought I have. Am I making my point clear? I have even invented your telephone, let us say. But to make it accessible, to create the telephone industry, is it same as inventing it or will it be much harder? Much harder. Am I making my point clear? Having the thought in itself is not enough. Having all the necessary attributes to convert that thought into action, that is where your real personality will shine. Am I making my point clear? All of you. Simple enough. Did you understand this? Right? Let's do one thing. Let us say I make you open 2024 essay paper. Come on. Open 2024 essay paper, everyone. Go ahead. All of you. Open 2024 essay paper. Now tell me, where can I apply what we have just studied? Where can I apply what we have just studied? There is no path to happiness. So in whatever path you're walking, it's not just about thinking, but it is also about doing. Okay. Any other essay topic like that? Any other essay topic where I can bring what we have just discussed? Sorry? Nearly all men can face adversity, but if you want to test the character of the person, give him power. Knowing what is right and wrong is one thing, but doing what is right, when you have power, that is another thing altogether different. Good enough. Alright. Moving on, guys. Look into this. This is your robber's cave experiment from 1954. What is this experiment? Robber's cave. Listen to me now. So what I did was, let us say I am the scientist. I got two groups of people to come and visit a place. Am I making my point clear? I got two groups of people, group A and group B, to come to a place, and between these two groups, I started to make them compete. Compete in a game, let us say a game of cricket, let us say a game of chess, whatever it might be. I made them compete. So what happened was, in this competition where one had to win at all cost, both of these two groups, were they competing in a healthy manner or were they sledging, throwing insults? What do you think will usually happen? Sledging, throwing insults, all of these things were happening. Am I making my point clear? So competition, that type of cut-throat competition, it was breeding negativity. It was breeding hatred. What I did as a scientist after a couple of minutes was this. I gave them a problem. I gave them a problem. Group A also could not solve it. Group B also could not solve it individualistically. Am I making my point clear? So what happened? Do you think they still started to compete with each other, or both of them started to pool their resources and then solve the problem? What do you think happened over there? All of you. Initially, both of them are competing and this is leading to insults, negativity and everything. Then I gave them a problem. For this problem, neither of them had the answer by themselves. So they came together. They started to cooperate. They started to pool their resources and then work in a harmonious manner. Am I making my point clear? When you are studying your polity, we don't use the term competitive federalism. More often than not, we use the term what? Cooperative federalism. If you take our country, a good number of people, 1.4 billion people, we are competing for scarce resources. Am I making my point clear? Whenever such competition, cutthroat competition is there, do you think people will be competing in a healthy manner all the time, or will it become negative and unhealthy? Exactly. And that is not good for everyone. When you bring the two group of people, give them a shared problem, they'll start to work with each other in a cooperative manner. That is what Robert Cave experiment is teaching you. Am I making my point clear? That's the argument here. And you yourself have seen competition in your life in so many different ways. 10th standard competition, PU competition, graduation competition, UPSC, again competition. Am I right or am I wrong? Right? I've seen many students of mine, they will be borrowing notes from someone else. All right? They'll borrow the notes and won't return it only. You might have seen that happening. There are many students who will not be sharing their notes with someone else because they are fearful by reading my notes, he or she will clear the exam. Am I making my point clear? And I will also tell you one more reason, one more incident that happened quite recently. You will see one of your friends clearing pre or mains or whatever it might be, you would not have cleared. Will this make you happy for your friend, or will you be harboring some negativity towards them? Let's be honest. Harboring negativity, but it's not wrong. So I've had students, not one or two, multiple students asking me questions like this. Sir, both of us were preparing. Now he has cleared pre. I am still preparing for prelims. How to deal with this type of negativity? I feel hatred towards him. Quite natural. Okay. Please, let competition not kill the healthy spirit in you. Never forget that. Am I making my point clear? So what does Robert Cave experiment teaches you? Prejudice is weakened not merely by preaching tolerance, but by creating reasons for people to cooperate. So there is so much of competition in our country. Let us create ecosystems, conditions where people can cooperate naturally. When they start cooperating naturally, tolerance will come automatically. Tolerance will come automatically. Did you understand all of these things, guys? So I want you to use these experiments wherever it is necessary in your essay papers. Come back, look into this image. Okay, the invisible gorilla experiment. Okay, this is what we call as the invisible gorilla experiment. Now look at the image. What do you see? You see what? You see just a gorilla, or do you see a good number of people? Now they're playing a game. Can you tell me which game they're playing? Basketball. So what I did was, I told a group of people here, I told a group of people that I will be playing a video. In that video, they're playing basketball. How many times the ball is passed from one person to another person, you have to tell me. That is what the problem statement was in that experiment. Am I making a point here? So all the people are sitting, and then I make them watch a video where people are passing the basketball. Everyone is making a note, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. All of you are following my point. After the video got over, I asked the group of people, how many of you have seen a gorilla in the video? Many of them said, I did not see a gorilla at all. But gorilla to hai. Am I making my point clear? What happened to this most number of people in the group? Were they focusing attention holistically, or was their attention focused on only one thing way too much? That selective attention that you give to some people, to some competitive examination, it will make you blind to what is happening in and around you. Am I making my point clear? Whatever answer that you are seeking will be there in the question itself, will be there in front of you, but your focus, your attention is there on something else altogether different, and you just miss out giving the right answer. You guys agree with me? That is what invisible gorilla experiment is teaching you. Look at what it says. Attention is selective. Am I making my point clear? Even now, when you're sitting for 3-hour classes here, I can make out when your attention is going here and there. It's very selective. Am I making my point clear? What we choose to measure can make us blind to what we fail to measure. So, should you be very arrogant about the answers that you have, or should you be humble enough to accept that you might have missed on something? Humble enough. Hey, Illa, I know this. I'm pretty sure. I am the best the country has to offer. If you have such type of arrogance, you're not going to win. There might be certain things that you might have missed. Someone else might have noticed that. Am I making my point clear? Be humble in life. And attention, whenever you're analyzing a holistic situation, let it not be focused on only one thing. Let attention be holistic. Am I making my point clear? All of you. What do we call this experiment as? The invisible gorilla experiment. You can use this again in your essay topics wherever necessary. For example, open your 2025 essay papers. Open your 2025 essay papers. All right. Tell me, guys. Tell me, in which essay topic can I apply whatever we are learning as of now, invisible gorilla experiment? Online students, I hope you can also answer. Invisible gorilla experiment, Srinidhi, where? Life as a journey, not as a destination. Absolutely. When you're so much focused on destination only, all right, when you're so much focused, okay, when will this watch show me 1:30 p.m.? Am I making my point clear? You will be missing out on so many things in the process of the class. Am I right or am I wrong? That's one thing. That's one essay topic. Absolutely correct, Srinidhi. Other than that, truth knows no color. Whatever they're preaching you here, our attention is selective. Is it just applicable to me, or is it applicable to everyone in the society? Everyone in the society. Very good. Other than that, very good. Muddy water is best cleared when left alone. Let us say someone has said something to you which you do not appreciate. Am I making my point clear? Someone has said something to you that you do not appreciate. What you will do? You will just focus on their words. Am I making my point clear? Your attention will be on their words, will be on their tone and everything. But you might not be attentive behind the reason why they spoke like that. Maybe they were facing problems of their own kind and they took out that anger on you. Do we focus on all of these things 360 degree, or is our attention very selective in that situation? It's very selective. So at that point in time, be calm. Try to focus 360 degree and then take a decision. Am I making my point clear? All of you. Simple enough. All of you following me? In front of you, you yourself have told me, sir, we can apply whatever we have learned in invisible gorilla experiment in 3 different essay topics. You yourself have told me that. Am I making my point clear? Like this, there are many experiments. We will be discussing about more experiments in your foundation classes, or next time when we have an open session like this. Now I want to move ahead and discuss some examples. Most of the times, guys, the moment I say Chief Election Commissioner, who comes to your mind? Yaru? TN Session. Am I right or am I wrong? Sorry. So I am a little bit saturated with people talking about TN Session all the time. Alright, that's not fair to many other Chief Election Commissioners that we have had in this country since independence. For me, TN Session is important, but one more guy who was as important as him was the first Chief Election Commissioner of India, and that guy's name was Sukumar Sen. Am I making my point clear? In 1951-52, when we conducted general elections for the very first time in this country, do you think that was a very easy task, or do you think it was a very complicated task? Complicated task. Imagine the number of illiterate people in our country at that point in time, conveying what is democracy to them, making them go to an election booth and vote, preventing any malpractices. The kind of challenges in front of Sukumar Sen was very big. But each and every challenge, he systematically dealt with it. Am I making my point clear? This is what makes him great. But what makes him one of the greatest civil servants in India is, he did all of this work without expecting any praise, without expecting any credit, without expecting any publicity. He did all of these things silently. Am I making my point clear? You must do your duty without expecting anything in return. If you look at many of the civil servants in the present times, right, whenever they do their duty, are they expecting something in return or no expectation? Most of the civil servants I'm talking about, expectation is there. Am I right or am I wrong? You have seen some civil servants who have become social media celebrities as well. Now, if it comes naturally, automatically to them, God bless them. If they are following it, pursuing it in a very obsessive and blind manner, that is where I have a problem. I love Sukumar Sen, but because he was one of the greatest civil servants who undertook the responsibility of conducting general elections. The reason I like him more is, he did all of those things in a silent, anonymous manner without expecting any type of credit or self-aggrandizement. I am the best chief election commissioner, nothing of that sort. Do your duty because it's your duty. Do the right thing because it is the right thing. Am I making my point clear? He was not in any rat race with others. This is very important in life. All of you are following my point. Look at what I have written. Organized India's first general elections in 1951-52. It was the largest democratic exercise in human history at the time, conducted across an illiterate, impoverished population of 173 million voters without prior precedent or template. If you look at UK, USA, when they conducted elections for the very first time, did they provide the right for everyone to vote, or was it limited? When it comes to India, if you were above a certain age, no matter whether you were an upper caste or a lower caste, a Hindu or a Muslim, whosoever you might be, you had a right to vote. This is what we call as universal adult franchise. So you should not forget the achievements of some of the greatest civil servants that India was blessed to have. One such person was Sukumar Sen. That is what I have written. Duty over self-aggrandizement. Am I making my point clear? Institutional architecture without ego. That is important. The institution is much bigger than you as an individual. Institution's interest must be practiced, must be upheld at all points in time. Did you understand this? Simple enough. So next time when you write essays, especially seniors of Insights IAS, let's not focus only on TN session. Let's try to diversify. Now I have given you just one civil servant who worked in Election Commission of India. Next time you can come across other election commissioners who were very good. Maybe S.Y. Qureshi. Am I making my point clear? You can use them as an example in your essay. Will you quote only the example, or will you mention arguments like this? Duty over self-aggrandizement, that is an argument. Institutional architecture without ego, that is an argument. Am I making my point clear? Come back. Look into this. Dr. Sambhu Nath Dey. Have you heard of something called as cholera? Yes. So this individual, he came out with a vaccine. He came out with a methodology to deal with this cholera. Am I making my point clear? A certain type. All of you are following me. A certain, not vaccine as such, a methodology to deal with it. All of you are following me. When was this? It was in 1950s and 1960s. All of you are following me. Now, whatever methodologies Mr. Sambhu came out with, prior to that, whatever was there, it was very ineffective, guys. Very ineffective. Whatever he came out with, it was so great, it managed to help people not only in India, but all across the world. It was a major discovery. Howsoever, Dr. Sambhunath Dey, he did not receive Nobel Prize, which he had to. One Nobel laureate called as Joshua, he recognized him and he told, whatever contributions that this guy has made, he does deserve all of those things. But he did not care about any Nobel Prize or Bharat Ratna, nothing like that. He just wanted to help the people for the sake of humanity, and that is what he did. Am I making my point clear? The moment I say penicillin, which guy comes to your mind the moment I say penicillin? My friend in the black color hoodie. Black color hoodie. Umesh Sir. Yes, sir. What's your name? Dhanush. I'm not scolding you, Dhanush. I'm just asking. What's your graduation in? BCA. Okay. Have you heard of something called as penicillin? Yes. Any idea who was the man behind it? Others? Alexander Fleming. He made penicillin accessible only to few people, or he made it accessible to everyone. Exactly. Behind that there was compassion. Behind that there was a collective interest of the whole world. Am I making my point clear? Everyone writes about Alexander Fleming and his penicillin in essay papers. That's good. Keep writing. But along with that, also write the example of Dr. Sambhunath Dey. Am I making my point clear? For some people, it's not the money which motivates them. For some people, it's the service. When you become an officer, it should be the service, nothing more than that. Am I making my point clear? All of you, right? Come back. Now, all of you, when you write your answers, you write, father of Green Revolution in India was who? Professor M.S. Swaminathan. Am I right or am I wrong? Apart from Professor M.S. Swaminathan, you have one more individual, Dr. Dilbagh Singh Atwala. All right. He was working in Punjab. Later, he moved to USA. He came out with a variety called as Kalyan Sona. It grows wheat. Am I making my point clear? If you take your Punjab, Haryana region, what is it very famous for? Wheat. Am I right? Making my point clear? He came out with a variety of wheat, which made us achieve food security in a quicker manner. You know, post-independence, we faced many challenges. One challenge was food security. We had so many mouths to feed, but we were not growing enough, so we had to go with a begging bowl in front of your USSR, USA. But because of scientists like Professor M.S. Swaminathan, Dr. Dilbagh, we were able to reverse that situation. Am I making my point clear? Thinking is like a game. It does not begin until you have an opponent. In this situation, what was the opposition that we faced in our life? Hunger. Very good. That hunger became the mother of necessity, and we started to innovate. We started to create something called as Kalyan Sona, which made wheat producing quite easy in our country, which made us to achieve food security in a quicker manner. A country which faced food security issue, the same country in the present time is a food surplus country, and we share a good amount of food with other countries whenever it is required. You guys agree with me? That is what you're supposed to do. Now tell me guys, achievements that people make, people like Dr. Dilbagh make, are they very loud in nature or do they silently do their work? That is important. Am I making my point clear? The domain that you're entering into, it's a service domain. Don't unnecessarily try to aura farm on your social media. Be rooted in the service of the people. If it comes naturally to you, God bless you all. If you're obsessing over it, there's something which is missing there. Am I making my point clear? What is this guy's name? Dr. Dilbagh. You can use this guy's example in essay topics such as thinking is like a game. It does not begin until you have a opponent. Am I making my point? Good. Will you use only Professor M.S. Swaminathan's name henceforth, or will you try to diversify? And I hope you won't forget these people's name. All of you are following me? Amongst all the experiments that you have studied today, Milgram experiment, invisible gorilla experiment, Ash conformity principle, which one do you like? Dhanush, which one do you like? Milligram experimenta, invisible gorilla experimenta, yadu. Which batch do you belong to, sir? Batch 7, okay. I think he likes an experiment where we spoke about attention being very selective. Which experiment was that? Invisible gorilla experiment. Am I right? I see that in my students most of the times. Be that as it may, please come back now. Listen to me. Her name is Jocelyn Bell. Okay. Look at the examples that we are quoting. We are trying to bring male as well as female genders here. Jocelyn Bell. Now, why do I like this Jocelyn Bell? She was part of a team which discovered pulsar, all right, rotating neutron stars in the domain of your physics, astrophysics. Am I making my point clear? She was a part of that team. But look at that. Was she awarded Nobel Prize in Physics for that? No. Her colleagues got it. A graduate student, her supervisor and colleague were awarded 1974 Nobel Prize in Physics for their discovery, excluding her. Imagine there is a team. Male members are getting that particular Nobel Prize in Physics. You are missing out on it. Is it something which will make you very happy, or is it something which will make you very bitter? Bitter. Am I right or am I wrong? You lose all hope on your subject. You guys agree with me? Howsoever, Jocelyn refused to become bitter. Even though she was excluded, she went on and she did her research on physics in a continuous manner. At a much later point in time, people recognized her work and they awarded her with $3 million US. 3 million US. Is it a small amount of money or is it a significant amount of money? Significant amount of money. But what Jocelyn did was, she took the 3 million US. She started a scholarship fund where women who are underrepresented, where women who are very talented, but not receiving the financial support, for help of such women, all these 3 million US were spent. Am I making my point clear? Let us say there is a bitter experience in my life. There is no point in me becoming bitter about it. Well, if you're following me, there is no point in me becoming bitter about it. That bitter experience can make me a much better understanding person. When I got the $3 million, what did I do? Did I use it on myself, or did I use it on those women who might be suffering like me, like how I did a couple of years ago? What did I do? Woman Tane. There is an argument that we have already made with respect to this. Can you tell me which argument I'm talking about? Ethical reform begins when our suffering creates a moral obligation to help others in a similar situation. Am I making my point clear? Jocelyn Bell is a great example of this. Most of the times in my essay, I see the moment I talk about female scientists, people talk about Marie Curie. Nothing wrong with that. Extraordinary lady. Howsoever, in the domain of science, there are many exciting women, be it in this country or be it across the world. Jocelyn Bell is one of the foremost. Am I making my point clear? All of you. Yes. Look at the argument I have made. She was graceful under systemic bias. Am I making my point clear? She was graceful under systemic bias. She did not become bitter by it. She showcased dignity, generosity and magnanimity wherever possible. That was Jocelyn Bell. Am I making my point clear? There is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. I am walking on a path. I am part of a team which discovered your pulsars. Howsoever, when I was not awarded Nobel Prize, I did not become bitter. I just enjoyed my work. I helped people. That is what makes me happy. Your happiness must not be tied to winning a prize, a medal, or clearing an examination. Am I right or am I wrong? Life is much bigger, much broader than that. All of you following me? Come back. Look at this guy. His name is Stanislav Petrov, USSR. Stanislav Petrov, USSR. Now, post World War II, until 1991, we were engaged in a sort of war in this world. Can anyone tell me what is the name of this war? Cold War. Am I right or am I wrong? Now, during Cold War, there were many situations where US and USSR almost came to a nuclear war. Am I making my point clear? One day what happens, Stanislav, who is working in USSR Defense Forces, he looks at a reading and there the reading says 5 nuclear missiles are heading towards USSR. Now, what was the policy at that point in time in USSR? The moment anyone reads that missiles are coming from USA, you have to launch counter missiles. 5 missiles are coming. I am Stanislav. There is already an existing protocol. The moment you see missiles on that particular radar, you have to launch the counter missiles just like that. Is it a very easy situation to be in, or is it a very complicated situation? The kind of pressure that you will be having, will it be on the higher side or lower side? Very good, very good. Listen to me, guys, listen to me. But Stanislav, even in such type of a situation, what he did was very simple. For a few seconds, he was silent. He analyzed the data which was there in front of him. If USA is going to launch nuclear attacks on USSR, do you think 5 nuclear missiles are enough? Or do you think they have to launch a lot more? A lot more. This basic doubt enabled him to realize whatever the machine was giving, it was not the right measurement, it was the wrong measurement, and he did not launch any counter nuclear missiles. That was the basic doubt that he had. Am I making my point clear? All of you. Imagine in a blind manner, if he had launched nuclear missiles, what would have come from USA? The real nuclear missiles. What would happen to the world? Mahaparinirvana. Am I making my point clear? Right? That's what. You need to doubt. Doubting is good. Why am I telling you this? My OJP students for whom I have already taught essay, they can answer. There is an essay topic called as what? The doubter is a true man of science. Stanislav doubted the veracity of the readings he was getting from the instrument. He could surmise that whatever reading he was getting, it is not rooted in reality. It must be a wrong data. He prevented a nuclear war from happening between US and USSR. That is why his name is important. Stanislav Petrov. Don't try to forget his name. All of you are following me. Try to remember it as much as possible. The next one is Subhasini Mistry. Subhasini Mistry, she is from your West Bengal. Now, this lady, she lost her husband. Alright. The reason why she lost her husband was she was unable to get quality healthcare facilities for her husband because she came from a poor family. Am I making my point clear? Because of lack of access to quality healthcare, what Subhasini lost her husband. Now, after losing her husband, Subhasini was very sad, very irritated, very angry. She wanted to establish a hospital in her village as soon as possible. But if you look at Subhasini, does she look like any corporate CEO? Does she look like any IAS, IPS officer? Or does she look like a common person? Common person. She was doing odd jobs, cleaning the home, maid and all of these things. She worked for a few years. She saved a lot of money, eventually starting a hospital in her village, where even to this day, quality healthcare facility is provided in an accessible and affordable manner. Am I making my point clear? All of you. She lost her husband because she could not get that healthcare. She worked very hard in her life to create an hospital so that other people do not suffer like her. Am I making my point? Simple. If you open 2024 essay paper, there is an essay topic. The empires of the future will be empires of the mind. Now, do you think in the future, whatever mind I have, this mind should solely focus on collecting all the skills like related to your artificial intelligence? Only these things I should do, or should I have a mind which is motivated by compassion? Compassion, love, care, kindness. Am I making my point clear? This lady was awarded Padma Shri not long ago. Am I making my point? All of you. So I want you to quote her examples wherever necessary. The empires of the future will be empires of the mind, provided this mind not only has the right technical skills, but also moral skills, moral values like compassion. All of you are following me? Like this, have you come across any individual in your life who has done a lot more to the society? Okay, Dashrath Manji, Usually in my essays, what I come across is people talk about Dashrath Manji, mountain man of India. He lost his wife because he could not get his wife to a primary healthcare center on time, because he had to take a long route, because from his village to the primary healthcare center there was a mountain which prevented easy access. What did Dashrath Manji do? Take a hammer, take a chisel, and he was carving a road through that mountain. Am I making a point? All of you. People talk about him. Please talk. No problem. But diversify your content. Shankare Gowda anta obru doctor idare Karnatakadalli. Right? He takes around 5 or 10 rupees, if I am not wrong, to treat people. People talk about him in essays. Nothing wrong. A great individual. But diversify your content. And I, as a human being, I love the achievements made by ordinary people. Ordinary people doing extraordinary achievements. That is what your essay demands. Ordinary people doing extraordinary things. You might have heard of certain auto rickshaw drivers in Bengaluru. They will be doing their occupation, whatever money they can save. They have started an orphanage where orphans are taken care of, where elder citizens are taken care of. Am I right or am I wrong? Ordinary people doing extraordinary things. If not your Dashrath Manji, people talk about Hajjabba in essay papers, an orange vendor, a fruit vendor who saved good amount of money and started a school in his village because he did not have access to school when he was growing up. People talk about Chacha Sharif, Jagdish Lal Ahuja. All of these examples are good, nothing wrong with them, but diversify. And do you think Padma Awards are given once every 10 years or is it every year? Every year, right? Every year, you will come across ordinary people doing extraordinary things who receive Padma Awards. Just write it down in your book wherever necessary and learn to use them in your answers. All of you following me? Her name is what? Subhashini Mistry. Look into this one. Marcellus of Padua. This guy was a medieval thinker around 14th century CE. If you're a political science student, you might have heard about this guy. Let us say there is a state. Let us say there is a church. In your political science, even in your polity classes, what do you usually study about? State and church, should they interact with each other in a very harmonious manner or should there be a separation? Am I right or am I wrong? Separation of state and church. Here, this Pandava was someone who had made a similar comment in 14th century CE. Making such a comment in 14th century CE was not easy because church was all powerful at that point in time. Imagine the courage he had. All of you are following me? He argued that political authority originates exclusively from the people. This is very radical for that time. For example, if you open your preamble, what are the first few words? My friend in the orange color t-shirt. Sir, nivene. Last ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರೇನು? Punita? Vinoda? Very good, Vinod. Again, are you from batch 7? Yeah. OGP na non-OGP na? ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕೂತಿದ್ಯಾ? ಕೂತ್ಕೋ. Sir, ನಮ್ಮ preamble ಅಲ್ಲಿ, what are the first few words? Vinod. Okay. First few words kada full preamble ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ಯಲ್ಲೋ ಕೂತ್ಕೋ. When we talk about our preamble, the first few words is we the people of India. Alright, the authority, the power of the constitution originates where? Its foundation is where? We the people. There was a thinker in 14th century who spoke about all of these things when church was all powerful. Church was considering itself as supreme. This guy had courage. All of you following me? This guy had courage. That is why I have included him. There might be certain political thinkers that you have come across, maybe this individual as well. In case if you have not come across, wherever courage, wherever bravery is included, you can talk about this guy. And look at what he has said. And that state must be completely independent of religious authority. If you take countries like Iran, the state, are they completely independent from religious authority or is there an influence of religion on state affairs? Influence of religion. So you can talk about these things if you want. All of you are following me? You might have heard about phenomena such as politicization of religion these days. Am I making my point clear? In the domain of politics, public. Let's talk about collective welfare. In your personal sphere, follow your religion the way you want to, when provided it does not hurt anyone. Am I making a point? Look into this one, guys. Kamandaka, here he mentions about a term called as upeksha. Most of the times in my essays, they write about a political thinker from ancient India who was there during your Mauryan period. Can anyone tell me which guy I'm talking about? Kautilya, Chanakya, you also call him as Vishnu Gupta, am I right? I want you to diversify. He's not the only political thinker we have had. We have had others as well. You have a guy called as Kamandaka. How many of you have taken PSIR as your optional subject? Alright. Sir, have you studied about him? Not yet. Okay, not yet. Hopefully you will. Look at this guy. He has mentioned a term called as upeksha. U-P-E-K-S-H-A. Upeksha. Now this term is very interesting for me in the present times. I'll tell you why. This upeksha, if you translate that into simple English, diplomatic indifference, strategic neglect. All of you are following me. Why is this important? You know your Donald Trump, right? He likes to speak about other people in a very positive way or in a very controversial manner. So he has spoken many controversial things about India, about our Prime Minister, about the common citizens of this country. Am I right or am I wrong? Now, Indians reacted to it in an indifferent manner. This guy always speaks. We are just supposed to issue an official statement denying those things, criticizing those things. That's it. More than that, we did not do anything. Am I right or am I wrong? The same Donald Trump, he spoke quite a lot of things about Prime Minister of Italy at this point in time. Who is she? Georgia. Right here. Yes, thank you. Georgia Meloni. Okay. Now, how did this issue develop? Did it get escalated or de-escalated? It got escalated more and more. Am I right or am I wrong? That is the thing. Upeksha no didu. Strategic neglect, strategic silence wherever it is necessary. Diplomatic indifference wherever it must be used. You are not supposed to react to each and everything happening in and around you. Sometimes be indifferent. Am I making my point clear? Many people will try to get under your skin by making you feel irritated, frustrated. At that point in time, if you react to these people, you are going to give in to their strategies. At that point in time, be indifferent. Strategically neglect them. When you strategically neglect them and you do not react to those situations, tell me guys, will they win or will you win? You will win. Am I right or am I wrong? This is upeksha. It was a concept given by a guy called as Kamandaka, who was also a political thinker from ancient India. You talk about Chanakya, which is good. Let's talk about other political thinkers as well. Am I making my point? Come back. Look into this. The moment we talk about Buddhism, which is that one individual you bring in your essays, Dalai Lama, or if not Dalai Lama, the original gangster, Gautama Buddha. All of you are following me. What I am expecting from you is to bring other Buddhist monks, nuns, if possible. So you have a Taiwanese Buddhist monk called as Master Cheng Yen. All of you are following my point. Now what is she known for? She has a lot of volunteers. These volunteers collect food. They provide bone marrow transplants, all of these things. So your Master Cheng Yen, is she involved in only preaching Buddhism or is she someone who is practicing Buddhism in the right way? Am I making my point clear? Compassion should not be only in the words. Hard work and sincerity should not be only in terms of words. It should be in terms of actions. Master Cheng Yen is known for that. She is a very famous lady at the global level. All of you are following me. Her and her team of volunteers have done a great many things for poor people in this world. Now you had someone similar to this in India as well. We usually call her as Mother Teresa. Do you remember her? You write about her in your essays. That's okay. That's fine. She was a great lady. But along with her, there were other people as well. You can mention about it. Now there have been many Hindu monks, religious leaders, Islamic preachers who have done something similar to what Master Cheng Yen did. You might have heard about a Swamiji called as Shiv Kumar Swamiji from Karnataka. He provided education, clothing, shelter,
to thousands and lakhs of students in our state over several years. You can talk about such people. All right? Such people. All of you following my point? Do not quote any controversial religious figure in your essays. That's my humble request. All of you following me? Master Chiang N. Okay. Just write one of Asia's volunteering team dedicated to the welfare of the people. More than enough. Okay. Look into this. All of you open your 2025 essay paper. Open your 2025 essay paper. Okay. Now find me an essay topic where they have spoken about war. Find me an essay topic where they have spoken about war. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Very good. Very good. Listen to me, guys. You might have heard of so many different types of evolution. White revolution, green revolution, October revolution. Have you heard of a revolution called a singing revolution? Have you? I'll tell you. Yes? If you are saying yes, that's good. Tell me. Okay, okay. This singing revolution that I'm talking about is a little bit different from that. Maybe the origin of the Telangana movement was rooted in this, I'm not sure. In singing revolution, you had three countries involved. Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. Am I making my point clear? These three countries, millions of people came together, they formed a human chain, they started to sing. They started to sing about the various issues they were facing because of USSR and its policies. They were demanding independence. Eventually, they won that independence. So, in your singing revolution, did they defeat their enemy using AK-47 guns, using some RPG grenades and all of these things? Or was it a non-violent method of struggle? You can talk about it. Am I making my point clear? You can talk about it. One person who was at the center of all of this was Václav Havel. V-A-C-L-A-V-H-A-V-L. Václav Havel. Now he went on to become prime minister as well. Okay. But before becoming a prime minister, he was a writer. He was a protester. He was a dissident. Now, why I like him is he has written a work, an essay. Look into that. The name of the essay is The Power of the Powerless. The Power of the Powerless, a system built upon lies. In that essay, he writes, all of you are following my point, he mentions an individual who has a shop. Okay, let us say a retail shop. So, in that retail shop, he is showcasing a political person, a political party, and the slogan of that party, the slogan of that person, but he does not want to do it. Let us say I am that retail shop owner. I have posted an image of a politician, of a political party, their slogan and everything. I don't want to do it. I don't like him. I don't like the party, but still I am doing it. Did you, all of you are understanding? Desperation of force, the conformity, he writes in this essay, The Power of the Powerless, a system built upon lies. Like a retail owner putting up a politician's photo even though he does not like it. A system built upon lies requires ordinary people to participate in those lies. Are you understanding? If I have built a democracy based on lies, that false democracy will only be successful when ordinary people become victims of those lies. They also follow those lies. Am I making a point? So what should ordinary people do? Should they accept the lies or should they showcase courage to reject those lies? That is what he talks about in his essay, The Power of the Powerless. That shop owner, when he did not want to put up that politician's image, slogan and everything, he should have had the courage to say no. He did not do it. Right? When one ordinary person did not do it, another ordinary person learns from it, another learns from it, and eventually the democracy became nothing but a false democracy. Am I making my point clear? All of you. A very small essay, but very powerful, impactful essay that he wrote. So as ordinary people in ethics, we usually discuss this question. In armed forces, what does patriotism mean? Laying down your life in the service of your country. What does patriotism mean in the context of a common man? UPSC has asked a question like this. What does patriotism mean in the context of a common man? What do you think patriotism means in the context of a common man as per Mr. Havel? Participating in lies or questioning those lies in a courageous manner. That is what Havel would want you to do. All of you following my point? Therefore, resistance does not necessarily begin with overthrowing the government. It can begin with something much smaller, refusing to pretend. Am I making my point clear? All of you. Wherever they've asked you an essay topic on patriotism, on democracy, on power, on duties, you can bring all of those things. Open your 2025 essay paper. Come on, quickly guys. Open your 2025 essay paper. Okay. Tell me, whatever Mr. Havel is saying, in which essay topic will I use it? Thought fights and creates a word, forget the thought. Other than that, whatever Havel is saying, is it applicable only to people of Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, or to everyone across the world? What do you think? Across the world, the moment this type of thinking comes, whose example will you give? Which essay topic? It applies, this truth applies to everyone across the world. Truth knows no color. That's it. In the other essay topic, the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Here, the essays that he wrote, here the singing revolution, that was quite pertinent in bringing down the USSR and its policy, gave them freedom. You can talk about that singing revolution in that essay topic. Am I making a point? Come back. Look into this. This guy was former Prime Minister of Sweden. His name is Dag. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to pronounce it properly. Hammarskjöld. Let's say Dag H. That is more than enough. Okay. Dag H. Why is he famous? In his tenure as United Nations Secretary General, he took on countries like USA, USSR. He wanted the global system to showcase as much integrity as possible. He did not want United Nations to become a puppet of USA. He did not want United Nations to become a puppet of USSR. So much of courage, so much of integrity. Can I say the same thing about United Nations and other global agencies in the present time, or is it on the lesser side? Lesser side. No matter who you are, IAS, IPS, Secretary General, Prime Minister, Chief Minister, MP, MLA, maintain the integrity of the office. Make sure that no one else uses that constitutional office for their selfish purposes. Showcase a lot of courage. That is what he did. Look at the argument. He tried to protect the independence of the UN Secretariat rather than act as an instrument of powerful states. You will be studying in your PSIR classes, maybe your IR classes, that the role of United Nations, is it increasing in recent times or is it declining? One of the reasons behind its decline, United Nations is becoming an instrument of powerful states such as USA and China. If that continues, United Nations will also fall, much like your League of Nations that we had in 20th century. What does United Nations require as of now? Strong leaders such as DAG. You might be USA, but I have the integrity and courage and the mandate to stand up against you, especially when you commit a mistake. Am I making my point clear? Wherever the essay topic is about leadership, you can bring your DAG over there. Am I making my point? Look into this one, guys. Abdul Sattar Idi. Now, if you go to Pakistan, this guy's name is quite famous. Abdul Sattar Idi. He has dedicated his life for the welfare of the downtrodden. The downtrodden could be the orphans. Am I making my point clear? One day what happened? He had an institution he had a place. Some people, they got this very small baby who had been born in the last couple of days, and they had kept this small baby in front of their home. He took care of the baby in a great manner. He took care of many other orphaned kids as well. He started your mobile ambulances and many such other social activities. What is his name? Abdul Sattar Idi. Whatever path you might be walking, you might be an IAS, IPS, whatever it might be. Whatever path you're walking, try to help the people as much as you can. If you help the people as much as you can, given your abilities, you will be happy there. Am I making my point clear? You will be happy there. What is his name? Abdul Sattar Idi. All of you are following me? Good. Come back. Look into this. Smallpox eradication. Have we eradicated smallpox in India? Yes. If you take your 1980s, 1990s, or even your early 2000, we were able to eradicate smallpox from different parts of the world because scientists, medical workers from across the world came together under the umbrella of World Health Organization. Am I right? Yes. Now here you had countries such as USA as well as Russia coming together, collaborating effectively to reduce smallpox, to eliminate smallpox. So this is teaching you another lesson. When we cooperate together to solve a shared problem, we will be able to see results. Am I making my point clear? When we are always competing for power, you will not be able to see the results that you want. Come together, let's solve shared problems. Then we will see success like smallpox eradication. Now, where do you think all of these major countries should come together to deal with some of the problems in present times? Tell me. It might be your sustainable development goals. Am I right or am I wrong? Combating your poverty, combating your climate change, like that. Are we coming together, all of the countries in this world, or only some countries are showcasing that enthusiasm? Only some countries. Most of the countries, especially your developed countries, are no longer interested in that. They're competing for resources, they're competing for power, they're competing for control. When this continues, there is every possibility that the disasters that we are going to see, will it increase or will it decrease? It will increase. Am I right or am I wrong? Yes. See, in essay, I've told you this. First, you need to understand the example. Then you need to derive the arguments, learn where to apply in which essay, and then connect that argument, connect that example with whatever you're seeing in and around you. If you're able to do this, your thinking abilities, it will improve to a larger degree, and that is what you require. All right. In essays, if you try to by heart some formula approach, some famous thing told by some XYZ expert, by heart, without applying your mind, you will not be able to score well. Okay, following my point. Now, my simple question to you, and also people who are listening to me through that online medium as of now, give me one example where countries came together at a collective level to deal with shared problems. One example is there in front of you, that is smallpox. Another example, yes, go ahead, madam. During COVID, very good, yes. Other than that, good. It's a reasonable example. Think, you know the answer. If you did not know the answer, I would never have asked you the question. Environmental, be specific there. That's very general. Be specific. When countries came together, iವಾಗ disasters ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡದ. My friend who is wearing the specs, round shaped specs. What's your name, sir? Yes, sir. Hanumant. Yes. Can you think of any major disasters that have struck the world in the last couple of decades? Yadaru major. In Turkey, earthquake happened. Am I right or am I wrong? So over there, only few countries provided humanitarian assistance to Turkey or many other countries. Many other countries. In the early 2000s, you also had tsunamis. Am I right or am I wrong? So many countries from across the world came to solve this problem. Am I right or am I wrong? Like this. So like this, give me some more examples where countries from across the world came together to solve a shared problem. Sorry? Plague, what matter? Plague. Okay. Forget the disasters now. Think. Sorry, sir? Very good. In your foundation classes, batch 7, you will be learning about something called as Montreal Protocol, Kigali Agreement, if I'm not wrong. Over there, countries from across the world, they pledged to take reductive strategies to reduce their emissions in such a way ozone layer depletion would be prevented, would be reduced. Am I making my point clear? So like this, if you want, you can talk about it. Okay, all of you. ಇವಾಗ ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಮಸ್ ಟ್ರೂಸ್ ಅಂತ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಓದ್ರಿ 1914. Now can you give me any other example where people have forgotten their hatred that they had for each other and they have come together and played or enjoyed for a few days? Sorry? Cricket, Olympics. Am I making my point clear? Simple. Keep your answers as simple as possible. Not at all a problem. Okay. Look into this. Singing revolution. I think I've already told you about it. Come back. The Apollo 8 Earth rise. Okay. Now people had gone to your moon. From that moon, when they were observing the horizon, from there they saw the rise of your Earth. Imagine 4.5 billion years ago how the life was. Imagine how your human beings evolved. Imagine how this human being has had the capability to explore space, explore the frontiers of space. There is something very beautiful here. Am I right or am I wrong? There is a very beautiful essay topic in UPSC, courage to accept, dedication to improve are two keys to success. The human being, he has survived for such a long period of time because he showcased the courage to accept the challenges which were there in front of him. Am I right? And what was the second thing that he showcased? Dedication to improve. Am I right or am I wrong? That is why this species has survived for a much larger period compared to other species. Look at the argument. Humanity physically found no new earth. It found a new way of thinking about the earth. Small, borderless and fragile. You have that very famous topic in 2025. What is it? Thought finds and creates a world. Can I use this particular example, Apollo 8 Earthrise, the famous image, the viral image in that particular essay topic? We had a thought to go to space. We even created mechanisms to go to space. Am I making my point clear? There you can use it. Courage to accept and dedication to improve are two keys to success. Come back. Look into this. Abraham Lincoln's hot letters. When he was writing hot letters, all right, what was the reason behind it? Let us say, what is your name, sir? Vinayak. Which batch? OGP 7. I'm very angry at Vinayak for some reason now. Am I making my point clear? I'm very angry at him. So there's a part of me which wants to scold Vinayak left, right and center now. Left, right and center. But rather than scolding him, what I did was, I took a letter and I took out all my frustration that I have against Vinayak on that letter. I took out all my frustration, wrote in that letter and kept that letter aside. Once I have put all my frustration on that letter, will I be still so much angry against this fellow or would it have mellowed out? It is very easy to get angry in life. Everyone gets angry. But whenever you get angry, frustrated and everything, rather than reacting very impulsively, please make sure that you take some time, take out your anger, frustration in some other manner, and then you calmly deal with the situation. Am I making my point clear? Abraham Lincoln, whenever he used to get frustrated, irritated against some of his generals, rather than scolding them, he used to write a letter. He never used to send that letter to them. He used to write that letter. He used to calm himself down and then think clearly, and then deal with the situation. Am I making my point clear? Abraham Lincoln, look at this one, the argument. Time creates a distance between emotion and action in which judgment can return. Open your 2025 essay paper, please. Open your 2025 essay paper. All right. ನಾನು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿರ ನೀನ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಲ್ಲ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸೋ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ನಾವ್ ಮನೆ ಹೋಗಿ ತುಪ್ಪದ ದೀಪ ಹಚ್ತೀನಿ. Listen to me. Good Srinidhi. I wanted to ask, where will you use this particular thing that we have studied? Even before I ask, he has told muddy water is best cleared when left alone. Am I making my point clear? Simple, simple, nothing more than that. Whenever you feel angry at someone, and if you're someone like me, you're always angry at someone. All right. So you need to find a mechanism to deal with that anger. Maybe a hot letter methodology of your Abraham Lincoln. And these days I see people having that yellow color ball. Do you know that? Yenantra adike? Stress ball. I bought that stress ball. Within half an hour, the stress ball was done. All of you following me? Be that as it may. Listen to me. Did you understand this? How to apply it? Yes. All of you. Come back. Look into this. This is the Japanese concept of ma. All right. Japan has certain interesting philosophies, much like India. What does this concept say? Just as music needs silence to prevent notes from becoming noise, thought needs pauses to prevent information from becoming confusion. So what are they asking you to do? Reflect in a very chaotic, confused manner, or pause in silence. Pause, think for a little bit of time, don't react impulsively. Most of the time what happens, we are surrounded by noise and their opinions. Am I right or am I wrong? If you do not pause to reflect on all of them, to reflect on what you want in life, you will be giving into what everyone wants and you will be losing your identity in the process. Am I right or am I wrong? So please be careful, guys. Please be careful. The Japanese concept of ma is teaching you. Just like how you require certain pauses in music, you also require pauses in the way you think. And you must have come across Dr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee. You must have heard him giving speeches. What was so great about Atal Bihari Vajpayee's speeches? Can anyone tell me? His oratory skills were very good. He has used to quote certain poems that he himself has written. Other than that, anything else? Did your Atal Bihari Vajpayee speak in a very fast manner, or did he give pauses now and then? He gave pauses now and then because he wanted the listener to think about it. Am I making my point clear? Like that, all of you. Come back, come back. Oratory skills is not to do with what literature your background you're from. Oratory skills is basically how you're conveying your words so that it has the maximum impact on people. Am I making my point clear? So pause in your life. Reflect silently whenever it is required. Let's not react to anything and everything in an impulsive manner. All of you following me? Come back. Look into this. Toyota's Hansei philosophy. Now here again, I'm not going to talk about Kaizen. Kaizen tells you that you have to make improvement in your life in a drastic manner or a small marginal manner. Small marginal manner. I have taught you all of these things in your OGP classes. I want to teach you this Hansei concept. What is this Hansei concept? Its relevance is subtle. Experience itself does not teach. Reflection upon experiences does. Let us say today we have had a session, Essay Edge 2026 session today. That experience is done. But this experience in itself is not enough. You have to go back home and ask yourself, in the last 2.5 hours, 3 hours, what did I learn? When you start reflecting like this, you will be able to apply whatever you have learned in your essay writing, be it for any mock test or even your UPSC examination. Experience does not teach you anything. Reflection on that experience teaches you everything. In Kannada, there is a very beautiful song, Doddavareಲ್ಲ ಜಾಣರಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ. Okay. Our parents, our senior generation, they have many more experiences than us. You guys agree with me? But if you look at their maturity at times, it is still less. Am I right or not? They have so much of experiences, but why are they not matured all the time? Because have they reflected on these experiences? No, right? Let us say your parents or grandparents, I'm not saying your parents in specific, the older generation, they have so many experiences than us. All of these experiences, would they have sat, would they have reflected upon it, or they would have just experienced it without any reflection? Tell me. Experienced it without any reflection. That should not be the case. Whatever experiences you go through, positive, bad, negative, whatever it might be, reflect upon it, because in that experience, there is some lesson for you. That experience can be sweet, it can be bitter, it can be bittersweet, whatever it is. Reflect on it. Am I making my point clear? All of you. Come back, come back, come back. What do we call this concept as? Handshake concept. This handshake concept, it played a prominent part in the success of Toyota company. At one point in time, you know this, Toyota was not a company known for its brand value. It was seen in a very cheap manner by people from all across the world. But fast forward a couple of decades, Toyota is so reliable and trustworthy that many people from across the world, they blindly buy it. You guys agree with me? That's the thing, handshake concept. Experience don't teach you. What teaches you? Reflecting on those experiences. That's the argument. Now, forget 2005, 2024, open 2023. Or forget that, 2021 go. 2021. All right, tell me, in which essay topic can we use this? In which essay topic can we use this? 2021, I have made you open that question paper because many people consider that paper to be quite difficult. There are better practices too, best practices, okay, that's one essay topic. Your perception of me is a reflection of you, my reaction to you. So my reaction to people's opinion, all right, should it be based just like that, or my reaction should be based on my reflection? Reflection in the sense, my reaction should be based on whatever experiences I have gone through and the reflection that I've had on those experiences. Am I making my point clear? All of you. Like this. Artha, come back, come back. Look into this. The Aberfan disaster, this happened in United Kingdom at one point in time. Do you see this black color sludge? Right? So what happened in United Kingdom at this place called as Aberfan was they had accumulated a lot of sludge like this. Now, this sludge, because of rain and everything, slowly it started to move, slowly it started to move. This is, remember, tons of sludge. So when it started to move, it became like a landslide. There was a small village, Aberfan, it got buried under it. All of you are following me? Aberfan disaster. You have seen this ever since our class started. I am giving you certain environmental related events, environmental related examples. Don't forget that. What is the argument here? In 1966, a spoil tip collapsed onto the Welsh village of Aberfan, engulfing a school and killing 144 people, including 116 children. That is the data part of it. I don't care. Right? I do care about the children who lost their life, but I know you can't remember their names. All right. Remember the numbers. Look at the second part. Some bitter experiences do not reach us, do not teach us new knowledge. They punish us for failing to act upon the knowledge we already possessed. What do I mean by this? This sludge which was there, many people, they kept telling, because of this sludge, such type of disaster can happen. But what we did nothing. Am I making my point clear? We did nothing. We just were quite silent. Am I making my point clear? Then disaster happened. In 1980s, if I remember, there was a report which government had commissioned. In that report, they had written, because of excessive tourism and everything, there might be a possibility of a disaster in a place called as Joshimath. Am I right, am I wrong? 1990s, and couple of years ago in Joshimath, what happened? Disaster happened. Am I making my point clear? There are many warnings for you to prevent your disaster. Many warnings. If you do not give heed to these warnings and just continue like that, disaster will happen. Even in your life, your teachers might be giving you certain warnings. Your parents might be giving you certain warnings. Make the course correction soon enough. If not, disaster will happen. What do we call this one as? Aberfan disaster. And look at all the natural disasters we have had in the last couple of years in India and across the world. Is it something which happened just like that? Or did we always have the research to say that this will happen? Research to say. So let's change. Aberfan disaster, which happened where? United Kingdom. Look at this thing. The unsinkable Titanic. You know very well, when the Titanic was commissioned, it was one of the largest ship in the world at that point in time. Am I right? Passenger ship. It was thought that it was unsinkable. But what eventually happened? It sank. Am I right or not? What I am trying to teach you is this. Don't become victim of hubris. Hubris. Hubris means what? A lot of pride. A lot of ego. Hey, nan life alla yavalu chanagirutte. Right? My parents have made good amount of money. I can lead a happy life. Don't have that hubris. Don't have that ego. Don't have that arrogance, because you too shall sink if you have that, like Titanic. Am I making my point clear? You know very well. Most of you might have watched that movie or know about Titanic. It was a very big ship. But did it have all these safety boats that could populate, that could take all the passengers of the Titanic? It did not have enough number of safety boats, because the people who built it, they thought the Titanic will not sink. But in its maiden voyage itself, it sank. Am I making my point clear? Don't have hubris in life. Time often converts yesterday's symbols of confidence into tomorrow's lessons in humility. When you are young, like you, will you be learning about life in a much more detailed and wisdomful manner, or do you want to just lead your life on a day-to-day basis? Enjoy life on a day-to-day basis, am I right? But as and when you become older, the years teach you much than the days. Am I right, Chandra? When the Titanic was built, they had so much of naivety. They felt that it was unsinkable, but the years have taught us, no matter how unsinkable you might be in your mind, it's better to be prepared in life. There is a beautiful essay topic in 2025. The years teach much than the days. There you can apply this Titanic unsinkable concept. All of you following me? Right? Come back. Look into this guy, Alfred Nobel. Now, Alfred Nobel is famous for what? Instituting what type of award? Nobel Awards. Very good, madam. Now, look into this. There is a very interesting story behind this. Alfred Nobel had a brother. Now, the brother had died. Let us say I am Alfred Nobel. My brother, another Nobel, has died. The newspapers, they mistook that it was not the brother, but rather I who have died. Am I making my point clear? And you know very well, I was famous for inventing what? TNT. TNT, is it something which is good, or is it a very major explosive? Major explosive. So in the newspaper, after I was dead, do you think the newspaper wrote very good articles about me, or were they very critical about me? Critical about me. Alfred Nobel did not want to be recognized by such type of legacy. So that is why there is a belief that he instituted your Nobel Prizes. Look at what I've written. According to the famous account, when Alfred Nobel's brother Ludwig died, a French newspaper mistakenly published an obituary of Alfred, condemning him in connection with dynamite and calling him a merchant of death. Days ask what we have achieved. Years ask what those achievements meant. I might have given rise to dynamite. This might have given me money on a day-to-day basis. It might have made me very rich. But as and when I matured, as and when I accumulate the years, I ask myself, what did it actually mean to me? Let me simplify it for you. In the present times, are we living in a slow-moving world or a fast-moving world? Right? Father, mother, both of them work. Am I right or am I wrong? Both of them are working for the welfare of who? Of who? The children. So they're working on Mondays, Tuesday, Wednesdays. Some people might be working on weekends as well. Am I right or am I wrong? By doing so, they want to give their children all the privileges in the world. Am I right or am I wrong? But as and when they matured, both the parents as well as the children, as and when they matured, all of them will realize it was not just about what? Giving them the privileges. What was it about? Spending quality time with each other. Am I right or wrong? But can you reverse the time and go back and spend time with your children? It rarely happens like this. I am the merchant of death. But that merchant of death, it might have made me happy in the initial days, but as and when I matured, what is more important for me is I should be known for a positive legacy. I should not be known as merchant of death. Well, if you're following me, the years teach much than the days. You can apply your Alfred Nobel there as well. Okay. Come back. There is one more example that I want to discuss. After that, I'm going to let you go. The last example for today. Okay. In the last couple of days, right, Srinidhi knows the answer for this. In the last couple of days, there was this guy who unfortunately passed away while he was trying to trek a mountain. His name is Nirmal Purja. He was also famously called as Nims Dai. He was a British Nepali citizen, a mountaineer. If you go back home and look into your Netflix, there is a documentary called as Project Possible. Project Possible. Okay. So here under Project Possible, your Nirmal Purja, he is that kind of a guy who wants to trek some of the highest mountain peaks in the world. And he wants to trek them not in a easy condition, but rather difficult. Rather difficult. All of you following me? Let us say I am trekking Mount Everest. Which one is the more ideal time to trek Mount Everest? Summer season or winter season? Summer. He wanted to do it in winter only. And he wanted to trek most of these mountain peaks within a specified amount of time. He wanted to create a record. All of you following me? Let us say I am Nirmal Purja. I want to trek some of the most important, tallest mountain peaks in 6 months. I am on a deadline. All of you following me? I am on a deadline. But while I am trekking, I come to know that some XYZ person, he needs to be rescued in some mountain in some part of the world. XYZ person must be rescued because he had gone for trekking and he is stuck there. He must be rescued, and rescuing him is not easy. They require your expertise. So I, as Nirmal Purja, will I emphasize on my personal milestone, or will I emphasize on saving this person? What will I do? What should I do? Is it personal milestone or is it saving someone? Exactly, that is what he did. You and I, if we were there in that situation, we think we will do that. Let's be honest. No, most of us will not. Because for us, personal milestone is a lot more important than anything else. Am I right? Nirmal Purja showcased whatever your personal milestones can be. Other person's pain and suffering, it cannot wait. It must be addressed. This guy was courageous. This guy was humble. This guy was compassionate. Unfortunately, he passed away because of an avalanche that happened. You might have heard of POK. So he had gone there to trek a particular mountain. There they saw an avalanche. Along with him, even his team passed away. An unfortunate incident. He wanted to showcase to the world through his Project Possible. You might not be the most talented in the world. You might not have all the privileges in the world, but if you have a dream, if you have the courage, if you have the humility, you can make it possible. You can leave a mark behind. Right? I'm not someone who is inspired by many people in my life, but this fellow, he has my admiration, and I'm very happy to say he is also one of my source of inspiration. Am I making my point clear? You understand this? So my dear students, most of the examples that we discussed today, tell me, have you come across it in your GS papers, or was it a little bit different? It was diverse. Now, where have I gone for this diverse examples? Some of them are book references, some of them are from movies and series. Okay. I will never say if you have 10 examples, all 10 examples have to be like this. Just a little bit, one or two unique, one or two diverse like this. All of you following me? For me, more than books or movies, the best thing for you to collect original examples is newspapers. Do that. And please remember, whenever we are talking about an example, is it just about an example, or is it about the underlying arguments? Underlying arguments. And you should also have the ability to connect those arguments, connect that examples to other things that you know. If not, the way of thinking that we expect from you in your UPSC essays will be very primitive. If you're following me. Most of you are freshers who are sitting here. If you go back and look at the last couple of years and the essay marks that people have scored, it's very less. Even the rank holders have scored around 107 last year. Prior to that, it was 100. Okay. You might have all the knowledge, you might score very well in your optional other papers, but essay, it's not an easy game. Okay. You can get best at it only by thinking in a better manner, critically, analytically, creatively, and more importantly, writing. So for batch 7, when orientation happened, who took your orientation? Vinay sir. And what did Vinay sir say in in his orientation? To write essays or no? To write essays, right? So please do write essays. If you have any problem, feel free to come and contact me, Vinay sir, anyone at Insights. We will be very happy to help you out. And those students who have any doubts related to essay, if you want to get in touch with me, this is my Telegram ID. You can contact me there. Okay. So thanks for coming on a Sunday. Take care, guys. Thank you. Was it useful, the class? Yes, I'm happy. Take care then.